Good evening. Sorry for the delay. As I said, there was massive traffic on the way here. I don't know what happened. This lecture, Be'ezrat Hashem, will be Leilui Nishmat Chava bat David, Yehuda, Nuriel, Nuri ben Betty, and Leilui Nishmat Avram ben Ephraim, and לרפואת חיים מאיר בן יהודית, שחנז דבורה אלישבע בת שרה, חניתה בת ימנה, להצלחת אביאלה בת שרה, and also לעילוי נשמת מזל בת קסיה. One announcement: we made a special, we opened a non-profit organization in Canada. For the people in Canada who wants to make donations, they can deduct it on their taxes. So now in my website there is a button, donation from Canada. Anyone who donate there and put his email will get a formal receipt, which they can use on their taxes there. Until now, people from Canada used to donate, but they couldn't deduct it because it's in a different country. It took us a long time to get it done. I don't know why they take their time over there. It took years. I don't know, 2 years, a year and a half. It's finally there. And also there's a way to donate with Bitcoin. For all the people that became rich now in the last 2 or 3 months, they have to give maaser. So you have the Bitcoin over there, you can donate with Bitcoin. So far, I announced it last Tuesday. There was nothing yet, but maybe people will wake up. So anyway, next week, Be'ezrat Hashem, I will speak about a lot of secrets of Purim, things that probably you didn't hear before. So it will be mamash before Purim. Then we have right after that another lecture or two, and Pesach is coming. What will happen after Pesach? To be announced. I don't know yet. We will keep you updated. We saw in Shabbat, Parashat Vayakel, it's mitzvah every 7 years that we gather the whole nation and we read the Torah and we check that there's no mistakes in the writing. Yesterday I explained the whole thing, how Judaism was kept authentically accurate without mistakes, while Christianity and Islam full of unlimited amount of mistakes, different human errors, different texts, hundreds of different texts of Quran, 200,000 versions of New Testament, different versions, and one Torah in the whole world, one Gemara in the whole world, one Tehillim in the whole world for the Jews, even though it's more than 3,000 years. Tehillim, Psalms, it's 3,000 years old. One Tehillim all over the world. Talmud, it's more than 1,600 years old. One Talmud all over the world. Torah, 3,335 years. All over the world. We never lost the Mesorah. The Mesorah of the Torah. But remember, it's not only that it's 304,805 letters, it's also how to write the Sefer Torah. Each parasha, parasha ptucha, parasha stuma, how much space to leave, that can disqualify the Torah. Even those, everything kept originally. It's mamash unbelievable. So you can see that the Jews were very careful to transfer the divine knowledge exactly as it was given by God. While in other fake religions, they just transfer. Whatever happened, happened. That's why you have so many different texts. One of the main reasons I explained yesterday, because the Torah gave a very serious warning for people that would add or decrease anything from the Torah, that it's a death penalty. They can lose their share to the world to come. Who wants to take such a risk? You write the divine book of God, you copy, you care less, you didn't check few times yourself, you pass it out, other people will copy your mistakes, and it'll be the original divine Torah, it's gone from the world. Do you know what a disaster is? The whole world was made based on this Torah. You want to modify the blueprint of the creation? Can you imagine a bigger crime than that? Those who modify the Quran or the New Testament, they can sleep well where they are right now. They have nothing to worry about. Anyway, it was not authentic to begin with. It was never the book of God. So if you disqualify something that was already disqualified, no big deal. You didn't decrease, you did not decrease anything, you did not add anything. So, I want to give you a mashal, you get the point. One thief heard that some rich man has a 10-carat blue diamond. I don't know, worth $50 million. And he made a fake one, a very fake Russian fake diamonds. They look almost exactly like real diamonds. Even professionals, they can fall for it. That's how good is this fake Russian, diamonds. So he decided to go and switch the real diamond from the safe with his fake one. He came, he broke into the safe, they hacked the security, a huge operation. In the end, they switched the diamonds, then he takes his diamond to sell, and he gave it out to the store in Manhattan. What's their name? The lab that check the diamonds. GIA check with their laser and say, sir, we're sorry, it's a fake diamond. So he switched fake with fake. That's what the Muslims did, that's what the Christians did. It was never real. Who cares? You add, you decrease, you can do whatever you want. I know they get angry when they hear it, but the truth has to be told. We're not talking about feelings here, and there's no disrespect to anyone. You want to hear the truth? That's why you hear the truth. That's why they have 200,000 different New Testament. And they have hundreds of different Qurans. Even Muhammad had 4 wives, and each one of them already have a different Quran in his lifetime. What else do you want? In his lifetime. The question is, how did it happen? How did it happen? I'll tell you very simple. If you take a book that have 100,000 letters, forget 304,000, like the Torah have 304,805 letters. Let's make it shorter. 100,000, it's an even number. You have a book that is 100,000 letters, and you have to copy it with a feather. There was no pens, there was no printing, no typing, none of these things, right? When they copied the Quran 1,300 years ago, the first one, it was all handmade. So now the first Quran was brought, and all the Arabs have to make few copies. So Mustafa came, Said came, Ahmed came, Mahmoud comes. They all come. Muhammad come and say, listen, you fool, you have to make sure you copy it exactly as I give it to you, right? Said say, of course. Mustafa say, of course. Ahmed say, of course. Mahmoud say, of course. And they started to copy, right? They copy. Now, when you write 100,000 letters, from morning to night, you write, you look, you write, you look. Is it possible that you're going to make minimum one mistake? 1 out of 100,000. Absolutely. There's no less than that. Sometimes 30 mistakes, sometimes 100 mistakes. But we'll go for the minimum. 1 mistake. That's it. 1 letter, you skipped. Or you wrote a word maybe 2 times, or by mistake you skip a word, or you skipped a letter. It's very normal. We are people. There's no way not to make mistakes. So listen to what happened. There is an original Quran. That's the first one that was written. Now came Said, switch 1 letter. So how many versions we already have? We have the first original one, and we have Said's version, which is now 2. Mustafa made another mistake in his version, only 1 letter, but in different place. How many versions we already have? 3. Mahmoud, 1 mistake, we have already 4 letters. multiply it by 800 years. Why do I say 800 years? From Muhammad until they started printing, it was 800 years. And there are millions and millions of Arabs who copy the Quran. So right there, you have many, many different versions. Once they started printing, maybe now from printing on, there's less human error, maybe. Today it's all computerized anyway. When they print, it's all computerized. So you can print thousands of copies and they're all going to be one version. But when it was manually done, impossible not to make mistakes. In order for us not to have the same problem, Hashem, God, that gave his original book, made a system of protection. How do you protect the Torah from not being modified? One of the main security alert in the Torah is death penalty to anyone who will change the Torah. It's like a gun to the head. I'm very nervous. It's not just, okay, big mistake, I skipped a ladder, I'm a human being. No, my friend. You're going to skip a ladder, you're going to lose your life. That's one thing. Second, every 7 years, a checkout. We check the versions. Everybody gather, they divided them to groups. One read a sentence, everybody reads, confirm. Yes, let's go to the next one. Next one. Oh, so one person raises his hand. I'm sorry, I don't have this word. By me, it's written different. Anybody else has like him? No. Fix. You were wrong. This is how they protected the Torah to stay the original Torah of God. And even today, 3,000. Now, I want to remind you, nobody were after the Quran to burn it and to destroy it. No one was chasing the New Testament to destroy it and delete it. But everyone was against the Jews. Always. To kill them and to kill the religion and to kill the Torah. So the Torah, the Goyim wanted to destroy it. And the Torah is the same Torah even after 3,335 years. Their books, nobody was fighting. Nobody fought it. And there's unlimited amount of mistakes. From here you see, by the way, if you remember my debate with a Christian priest, I told him, even if God gave the New Testament, like you think, and there was an original New Testament, even if there was, we know that there was not, but even if there was, it's still not relevant anymore, because today we will never find from the 200,000 different versions which one was the original. So I told him, you know what it's like? Someone comes in front of an audience with an expensive diamond, $100 million. The people knew what diamond is going to present in a show. So everyone came with a fake diamond, looks exactly the same. Once he pulled out his diamond and showed it to the audience, everyone got up, took the fake 10-carat diamond, and threw it at him. He got nervous, his diamond fell on the floor, and now you have 100 different diamonds, and they all look alike. Now you're looking for which one was the original. There's no way to tell. Today we have equipment. I'm talking in the old days. There's no way to tell. Now, a second ago, he could have sold his diamond for, I don't know, $10 million, $15 million. Now, everyone you pick, who would give $50 million for it? There's a 99% chance that is not original. Do you know one person that was willing to pay $50 million on a diamond that there is a 99% chance that it's fake? So even there, if one of them is real, we will never know which one. So it's disqualified, dismissed, gone, finished. So if there was a real Christianity at one point, anyway, it's gone from the world. Now, let's save you the headache. There was never an original New Testament. How do you know? Because in each one of the 200,000 different versions, you have nonsense. If you found one without nonsense, oh, maybe that's the original one. But they all contradict the Old Testament completely. All of them. There's not one New Testament that comply with what God wrote in the original book, the Torah, which those Christians admit that God gave this book to the Jews. So that's the end of the argument. If you're a smart Muslim, get rid of it today, not tomorrow. If you're a smart Christian, get rid of it today, not tomorrow. I'm not telling you to convert. We're not missionaries. Stay what you are, a righteous Gentile. That's it. Follow the 7 laws. Be a good person. Don't be a racist. Don't be an anti-Semite. Don't murder. Don't steal. Don't be an idol worshipper. No sex crimes with a relative. No homosexuality. No relationship with animals. Do not eat any meat of any animal unless the animal is dead first. And that's it, basically. You should love God. You should know there's one God. And you're already a righteous Gentile. You go to heaven. You don't need to be a Jew to go to heaven. Judaism, by the way, is the only religion that say to the Gentiles, stay what you are and you still go to heaven. You go to the Christian and say, I don't want to be a Christian. Do I have a chance to go to heaven? Oh, no. Don't accept JC. Wow, you're going to be burned in hell forever. You come to the Muslim. Listen, I want to be a good person. I want to love God. I just want to stay what I am. But I don't want to be a Muslim. Will I go to heaven? Oh, no. You're going to be burned in hell forever. Come to the Jew. Hey, I don't want to be a Jew. I just want to stay a Gentile. Can I go to heaven? Absolutely. Just be a righteous Gentile. You go to heaven. You don't need to be too smart to understand where the truth is laying. You understand? And let's move on. By the way, there's no discrimination. Even among Jews, there are people who belong to cults. There were cults in Judaism in the last 2,000 years. Shabtai Tzvi, by the Yemenites. Even today there are cults. People who believe in someone that is alive, people that believe in someone that died, people believe he's a god, people believe he runs the world. There's different kind of cults of idol worshippers. There's no difference if you're a Jewish idol worshipper or a non-Jewish idol worshipper. All idol worshippers are criminals. All of them are huge sinners, and all of them, according to the book of God, will receive the death penalty, sooner or later, all of them. Doesn't matter if they have a beard and tzitzit and a black hat, it doesn't really matter. The way you dress does not change the verdict. If someone murder with a black hat and a tzitzit, still get a death penalty, right? It doesn't matter if a secular guy shot or a religious guy shot someone, because they had a fight. Whoever is murdering is a murderer. We don't really care the length of his beard, right? Imagine he comes to court of heaven, God, but I have a beard. That should double your punishment. If any, not only it doesn't give you a discount, that should double your punishment. You know, in Israel, there is a new moda. Something new, it happens in the last 10, 20 years. Every gangster that is caught by the police, that he murdered someone, he comes to the Israeli court with a yarmulke. He's a complete secular rasha, merusha, vechalel Shabbat. Now he comes in front of the liberal judge and he puts a yarmulke. They're so stupid. The yarmulke will make it a lot worse for you. If you were in front of religious rabbi judges, they will look at your yarmulke, they'll have some kind of sympathy to you. Well, maybe this guy is keeping some of the laws. It's not so bad. But when you come to a liberal lefty judge, as soon as you see the yarmulke, he wants to murder you himself, regardless of the trial. How does it help? Plus, if I was a judge, if someone would come without a yarmulke and I have to judge his case as a murder case, or if he comes to me with a yarmulke and tzitzit, I would be angrier at the one with the yarmulke. You know Torah and you know the religion and you went and murder? Oh, you deserve a much bigger punishment from someone who never learned Torah in his life. You get the point or no? I can prove it to you. when a secular person in Israel steals, he robbed someone, they never make an article in the main page with his face, with his picture. But usually it never gets to the newspaper. If it's a huge robbery, they're right, there was a robbery today, such and such was stolen. But if it's someone religious, immediately in the front page. So the question is why, when a secular Israeli steals $10,000 from someone, usually they don't even bother to report it in a newspaper. But if someone religious stole, immediately makes it to the headlines. Why is it? You may say discrimination, anti-Semitism. They just hate religious people. Who runs the newspaper? Liberal, lefty people like Bernie Sanders. People that hate religion. So when they have something juicy against religion, immediately they take advantage to publish it to show how ugly is the face of religion and how ugly are the religious Jews. Get it or no? But there is another way to look at it. There is another way to look at it as actually a positive thing, not a negative thing. I tell you what, the day that the secular liberal lefties will stop making a big deal about a religious person who committed a crime, then we know that all of us went bankrupt completely in religion. That we are finished. We're done, that's it. There's no more righteous Jews in the world. As long as they run quickly to publish some religious man who stole or did something or committed any crime, that means they themselves admit, you and I are not in the same league. In my league, everyone is garbage. You don't run to publish every 5 minutes when one of them steals, because it's never going to end. The whole newspaper is going to be of articles. So we don't even care. We got used to it. But you people, meaning you, the religious, the Haredim, you speak, you give musar, you condemn stealing, you condemn this, you condemn that. You're faker. We have to make a huge noise about it. Why? You're not supposed to be like us. We are losers, we are wicked, we know it. That's why we're not making a big deal when someone just got caught stealing. But you're not supposed to be like that. You get it or no? I can give you another example. You know, there are a lot of religious families, unfortunately in this generation, that they have at least one kid that went off the derech, meaning is off the path. It's not religious anymore. It started with one thing, leads to another, trauma, abuse, something happened in school, or he just discovered the internet, destroyed his soul. So, sometimes you will see that one of the older brother that became not religious giving very strong musar to the young brother who is starting to shake. How do you behave? Shame on you. What kind of bachur yeshiva you are? Why are you doing this? How you speak to daddy? How you speak to mommy like this? You're not embarrassed? So the religious kid from yeshiva say to his not religious brother, look at you. You're talking to me, you're giving me musar. You're 1,000,000 times worse. You destroy their mind and their heart from your behavior. Becoming mechalel Shabbat, going with girls. You're talking to me that I had some chutzpah to the mother? It looks like an absurd, no? So what will be the answer of the secular, of the derech brother? I'm already a lost case. Nobody come to justify the way I am. But you are a tzaddik, you're in yeshiva. You're not supposed to be like me. Learn from the stupid things I've done. Look where it got me. You get it? And I give you one last example and we move on. When I was a kid, you see, I'm going to start from the end of the story. All my life, never smoked even one cigarette in my whole life. Never even try one time how it feels. How is it possible? Almost every teenager is curious to try at least once, right? The reason that I didn't try ever a cigarette in my life is thanks to my father, alav shalom, which was a heavy smoker. Cigarette killed him. At least 10 years of his life he lost because of cigarette. He died, his lung collapsed. So how can someone who smokes 2 packs a day give musar to someone who didn't start smoking yet? Usually it's hypocrisy, not when it's a father and son. Father still have an obligation to tell his son what's right and what's wrong, even if he himself is not perfect. Yes, it won't be as effective, yes, because the kid will always tell the father, hey, you're preaching to me and you do the opposite. But there is a way around it. I can talk to you from experience. When my father was smoking, he said, be careful never to be like me. I'm already a lost case. I was stupid. Stupid kid, teenager, I started, I'm done. No matter what I do, I cannot stop. I could have had another apartment with the money I lost on all these cigarettes. Look at me how I cough. Look how every time I have to go out and smoke and come in, it destroys my life. You want to be like me? I'm warning you, don't ever dare to touch a cigarette. One time there was a strike in Israel. You cannot find cigarettes for 1 week. Everything sold out. They do not publish no cigarettes. And he said to me, let's go and look for cigarettes in the stores. Kiosks, they have kiosks. We go, one, you have cigarillos? No, sold out, sold out, sold out. 3 hours. We walked to maybe 100 stores and asking people, tell me, אתה יודע איפה יש פה קיוסק? Sell cigarettes. Right there, make a right, make a left. Walking, it's ממש like יציאת מצרים. You know how it says 42 מסעות? Stop here, ויחנו here, ויחנו here, ויחנו here. This is what we did. We went to every store in Bat Yam. All the way from the border of Jaffa to Ramat Anasif, you know Bat Yam. Past Bobov. Rabotai is maybe, I don't know, 12, 13 miles from one side of the city to the other. Oh, hours! No, sold out, sold out. And the entire journey, my father is preaching to me. You see how much I have to suffer? You see what a person does for cigarette, how much I have to suffer, you see? You learn from that not to make that mistake. Then, when I had my first car, my father told me, make sure that your friends, if any one of them is a smoker, when they leave the car, check around that they did not leave a pack of cigarette in a car. I said, why? How much a pack of cigarette cost in those days? Who's going to break the car for cigarettes? He said to me, you do not understand what it means when someone needs a cigarette and he doesn't have right now. It's going to break the windshield, the glass, the window, just for that cigarette. Be careful not to leave it in a car. After all this brainwash, I said to myself, you know what? It's not worth it. It's going to destroy my life. And I was right. Other parents, they don't care. They don't tell anything to their kids. One day the kid starting to smoke. You know, they never said anything before. They usually don't say anything after. So here is an example of you can tell someone, learn how not to be like me. Learn from my mistake. Learn. A guy that's got divorced 4 times, can he preach about Shalom Bayit? Logically, no. Logically, also, yes. He knows what destroys marriage by now. So he comes and says, Rabotai, I'm divorced 4 times. I came here to tell you not to repeat the mistakes I made who got me to where I am, 65 years old, no family. Why? Got married once, got divorced after a year. Second time, 6 months. Third time, 4 months. I tried. Please do not make the mistakes I made. My first marriage was destroyed because of this. Second, because of that. Third, because of that. That's very effective. People that sit and they listen to the mistakes this person made and how he's paying the price right now, right? They should get the point. The Gemara, the chachamim ask if Korach will have a share to the world to come or not.
Yes.
Korach gathered 250 chief rabbis and they made a coup against Moshe Rabeinu, the messenger of God. It's a very big crime. You revolt. Rebel. Each one of them is a rebel. They're revolting against Moshe Rabeinu. Make him married. The messenger of God. You know what a crime it is? Declare a war against the messenger of God that you all heard? That Hashem nominated him in front of your eyes? It's not a story of someone. You saw in your eyes that Hashem speaks to him and gives him instructions. He went up to the mountain for 40 days without food and came back alive. Don't you get the point? Ego in politics clog the mind. So Korach, for his ego, what? I'm not getting a job. You're stealing everything for yourself, for your brother. I'm next. I should have been after Aaron. Why you push me back in the list? I'm rich, I'm this, I'm a Levi. We are in the same family. Who do you think you are? You know, the usual politics. What was their end? Hashem opened up the ground. They all came down directly to hell. Directly. And how many people died because of this tragedy? 15,000 people. 15,000 people. 14,700.
250.
And plus the 250. That's right there, 15,000 people almost. So the question, Rabotai, is a very big tragedy. Right now we have 1,500 dead and kidnapped, right? And everyone is crushed, right? Every Israeli is crushed, basically. Besides the lefty traders. They are enemies. I'm talking regular Jews. Regular lefties, not those Erev Rav. Everybody is upset. 1,500 and everyone is crushed. Imagine 15,000. Much bigger problem. And back then, the nation didn't have 10 million people, 10 million Jews in Israel. 1,500 from 10 million is not as bad as 15,000 from 3 million. You get the percentage, right? So that was a big tragedy. Korach and those chief fakers went to hell for how many years? Until today. They're already there 3,335 years. 30 years. How do I know? How do I know? The Gemara said that Rabbi Bar Chana met someone, looks like an Arab, started a conversation with him, and then he found out that he's Eliyahu Hanavi. Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet, he comes sometimes in customs. Can come to you as a poor man, it can come to you, in different, depend on a case. And he said to him, do you want me to take you to a place that I will be able to show you what Korach and his group are doing? I said, yes. He took him to a place, and he testified that he heard them scream, Moshe Emet, v'Torato Emet. We sing it on Shabbos, Moshe Emet, v'Torato Emet, and in Simchat Torah we sing it. Where do we get the lyric of this song? From this Gemara, Eliyahu Hanavi. He say, Korach and his group are screaming, Moshe Emet, Moshe is true, and his Torah is true. How many years Rabbi Bar Chana lived after Korach? 1,500 years. 1,500 years they are in hell screaming. This is, by the way, the answer to all the people who say hell is only 1 year. Good luck. Nice try, like they say in America. Nice try. Hitler will be 1 year in hell. It doesn't even cover one little Jew. One little baby. 1 year in hell. What is 1 year in hell? You murder a person, you destroy the family. 1 year in hell, that's all. You murder millions. 1 year in hell. You destroy the Jewish nation. You made 100, 200, 300,000 Yemenites become like goyim when they come from very holy family and descendants. You turn them into mechalelei Shabbat. You destroy their education. You destroy their religion. They grew up without Hashem because of you. You're going to go 1 year in hell when you're normal? Ben Gurion and his friends, all these Zionist, communist, wicked people. So what does it mean 1 year? Mishpat Reshaim Bagehenom Yud Bet Chodesh. There it's written, Mishpat Reshaim. One way to explain it, Mishpat. Mishpat is a trial. That's why we say Kaddish for 1 year. And that 1 year, it will be determined what's going to be his real punishment. There's other explanations. But one thing is for sure, is that there are people who are going to hell, sometimes even for thousands of years. Or kafakela, which is worse than hell. So now, the Gemara, after all, is debating if Korach would come out of there one day. Why? Because every generation, people use him to warn the public and their children not to be like him. Be careful! Al tiyeh kekorach ve'adato. Don't make machlokot. Don't make fights. Don't make all kinds of disagreements in a shul, politics, this, that. Fight with the neighbors, fight with friends, family, all kinds of hatred. Be careful from the machloket. So everyone use Parashat Korach as an example. What is the end of someone who makes machlokot, make fights, make all kinds of political arguments? Their end will be very bad, like Korach and his group. So people get so scared and they stop immediately. They stop immediately what they're about to do. So Korach gets credit. People are stopping to do bad things because of his experience. Now the Gemara says, in the end, will he benefit from it or not? If yes, he has to come out of hell eventually. He saved thousands of other people who wanted to do a disagreement. Where the Gemara learned this concept that someone who did something bad, but it warned other people not to be like him, that he deserves a credit. Where this idea comes from? From Haman. Haman. The Gemara said the grandchildren of Haman, מבני בניו של Haman, לומדים Torah בבני Brak. The children of Haman, they're learning Torah in the city of Bnei Brak. Everybody asks, Ma, they're Amalek. Amalek! How they learn Torah, Amalek, all of a sudden? The answer is because when Achashverosh took out his ring and gave it to Haman, and Haman signed a death sentence against all the Jews, from fear. That was the first, and unfortunately so far the last time, that all the Jewish people in the world became fully religious and fully devoted to Hashem. Never happened after that ever again. So who made all the Jewish people Baalei Tshuva in 1 year? Haman. I wish I could do. Haman say all of them going to die in the next Adar. And everybody got so scared. They were fasting, wearing sack, putting ashes, reading Tehillim. Even in Pesach, in Leil HaSeder, instead of being in Leil HaSeder, drinking arba kosot and eating matzah, they were sitting in the center of Shushan, reading Tehillim, praying and begging for their life. You never had such a massive repentance of the entire nation. So the Gemara say, when the removal of the ring from the finger of Achashverosh and giving it to Haman was so productive that it made a bigger impact than all 48 prophets and 7 female prophets that the Jewish nation had. 55 prophets did not help the nation with their warnings or their books as much as this Nazi Haman helped with making his decree. Thanks to that, his children got the merit to convert to Judaism and to learn Torah. That's what the Gemara says. So, the same thing over here. Same thing over here. Korach, he did something bad, just like Haman, with bad intention, just like Haman. But it saves perhaps millions of Jews from losing their share to the world to come until today. Why wouldn't he get a benefit from it? What, is worse than Haman? With all due respect, it's not worse than Haman. So that's why there is an opinion that in the end he's going to come out of there. Tzadik atamar ifrach, that's the pasuk. Huh? Sofet v'korach. Tzadik, the pasuk, tzadik atamar ifrach, the righteous person will bloom like the palm tree. Palm tree, right? Tamar, that you have date tree. So when you look at that tzaddik, finish with kuf, tzaddik, right? Katamar, finish with resh. Ifrach, chet, korach. Okay? Kuf, resh, chet, korach. That's hinting that Korach in the end, he will get his, the Yemenites in Israel. You know what was the name of their chief rabbi? Rabbi Korach. No, he just passed a few years ago. Big Talmid Chacham, big tzaddik, strong ashkafa he had. So his name is Rabbi Korach. So I want to ask Temani Talmid Chacham, Yemenite, what kind of a name is Rabbi Korach? Who wants to call his family Korach? Can you believe such thing? It's like someone called his son Aviram. When I was in the Air Force, my chief commander, Rasha Merusha, his name was Aviram. Kishmo Kenu, it was Rasha. When the last day of my service, they give you the certificate that you finished your service. He said to me, Mizrahi, with a smile, like a villain, a vicious smile. Mizrahi, see you in 3 months, meaning in reserve. In reserve, you have to come every 3 months. I say to him, look at me very, very carefully, because now is the last time you will ever see my face. Yeah. Everyone told me that until today, and they all show up like tatale. I said, no, not me. What he didn't know is that I already have a ticket going to America. My father, every 3 months, used to call me. You know who showed up here today? He actually went personally to look for me. Why I do not show up to reserve? And my father told me, he's in New York, what do you want? So I don't believe it. He's in New York? He said, yeah. When is he coming back? Never. No, it cannot be. Keep me updated. Every once in a while, you show up, knock on the door. Mizrahi, your son arrived. Why? His ego. That I was the first one who told him he never saw my face and kept it. What was his name? Aviram. Who called his son Aviram? Someone that is Bernie Sanders. He doesn't know Torah, doesn't care. He liked the name. In Israel, you know how many hundreds of kids their name is Nimrod? Nimrod. Who would believe such thing? Nimrod. How many Jews their name is Mark? Mark. The evangelist. Mark. Christian. How many Jews their name is Hertzel? Usually Persian Jews. Why Persians call their kids Hertzel? Just show you how innocent and naive the Jews were in those days. They went to Iran and Iraq, the wicked Zionist communists, the Reshaim, to make a secular school in Iraq and in Iran. Why? To prepare the religious Jews, make them secular before they arrive to Israel. That they can send them directly to the kibbutz with no resistance. We don't want to bring religious Jews to here, so let's go and take care of them while they're still in exile. A lot of these Persians, they told them stories that Hertzel is the Messiah, look at his beard. He is the one who got us the state of Israel, Chosea Medina. And the naive Persians, especially those who did not learn Torah, they started to admire this Rasha Merusha Hertzel and started to name their kids after him. Why they call their kids in Israel Nimrod? They don't know who Nimrod is. They never learned Torah. They just like the name. I remember one time I had a father and son when I lived in Manhattan. They did a job in the kitchen in my floor. And I asked the father, what's your son's name? He said, Nimrod. Ma? Nimrod? Baruch Hashem, that triggered me. For 1 week they were working in the kitchen. Baruch Hashem, I made them Baalei Tshuva. We got the father and the son. Changed his name, no more Nimrod, Baruch Hashem. But look how innocent, naive. Didn't even know he's Nimrod. The father said, wow, what's wrong with the name? You don't know who Nimrod was? He declared himself as a god. He threw Abraham to the fire. Nimrod was the Hitler of those days.
A lot of Hasidim are called Hertzels.
How can it be?
I don't know, I never looked into it.
Look, Hertzel was not just his name. It was a common name. Just like Jews before the Holocaust, many of them were named Adolf. It's a common German name, Adolf. You know how many Jews used to be Adolf before the Holocaust? After the Holocaust, I don't think any Jew would call his son Adolf, right? But Adolf was a very common German name. Adolf Hitler, Adolf Eichmann. And Jews named themselves Adolf. That's a German name. I can assume that by the Hasidim, maybe the same reason. Hertzel was probably a common name. Anyway, Rabotai, I remember one guy that does real estate, buying, renovating and selling. So he used to call me to get bracha for this location, for that location. One time he called me up. He said, I bought another location somewhere in the Bronx. What's the name of the deal? Hertzel. To him, on this one, there's not going to be blessing. He got stuck with that for 3 years. Cannot get rid of it. I told him, no. He said, why? He said, no, the name's cursed. This name doesn't bring any good news. People don't know what it means, Hertzel. Let me ask you a question. When you come and say, who is worse, Hertzel or Hitler? 99% of the people will get angry from asking such a question. Why? Normal. Why you ask such a question? After all, he was a Jew. You're comparing him to this Nazi monster. Right? Everyone would say that, no? Not if you learn Torah. If you know Torah, you would know rule number 1, Gadol HaMachti'o Yoter Min HaOrgo. Who is more wicked? Someone that murder bodies or someone that murders souls? The answer, someone that murders souls, not just is worse, is 1,000,000 times worse. There's nothing to compare. You murder the body, you're a criminal, you deserve a death penalty, you're going to go to hell, we know that. But it's nothing compared to someone who took a religious Jew and turned him into a Mechalel Shabbat secular Jew. Nothing to compare. Because that's a genocide. All his children, grandchildren, they're all going to be Mechalelei Shabbat. Every time they commit a sin, goes to the account of that individual. There's no end to his punishment. You murder one person, you're going to be punished for that physical death. Maybe you actually send him to heaven by killing him. Mitato chaparato. Sometimes when a person gets the death penalty, that's what saves him from hell. So you wanted to kill because he stole money from you, you went and you killed him, it's a horrible crime. Without realizing you did him a favor. He's now enjoying in heaven. He's blessing you every day for shooting him. You don't know it. You'll find out when you die. What he got and what you're going to get. But people that murder souls are a lot worse. So Hertzel destroyed us with his ideology. He used to light a Christmas tree in his house. He sent his kids to the church. He had a plan to convert all Jews to Christians. He wrote it to the Pope, give me some time and I will convert all Jews to Christian and will defeat the anti-Semitism problem once for all. It would not be necessary. Why? Because there would not be any Jews left. So he wanted to commit a spiritual genocide. Baruch Hashem, he only succeeded partially. He wanted us to go to Uganda. He didn't care about Israel. He did not circumcise his son. How many Jews like this you have in the world that do not make Brit Milah? The most anti-Torah, secular people in Israel, they do Brit Milah. Even Tommy Lapid, Imach Shimo, made a Brit Milah to his son Yair, Imach Shimo. The two biggest haters of Hashem, they made Brit Milah. I once wrote him a letter. He's such a hypocrite. Someone like you will say there's no God, or I don't believe in it, or I don't, whatever. How did you have the nerve to cut a piece from your baby's, from your son's body? Based on what? If it was up to me, I would convict you with a murder attempt. Attempted murder. Why? If you would cut the ear of a baby, would you get arrested or no? Why? Who gave you permission to cut the ear? Take scissors and cut his ear. Right away, police, 911. There's a crazy father here. He cut the ear of his son. Immediately in arrest. He's going to stay 10 years minimum in prison for that, no? Minimum 10 years. After a plea bargain.
Depends who's the attorney general.
Over here, even a lefty judge will give him 10 years. Are they cutting a baby's ear? It's a big thing. But if he cuts where they circumcise, nobody does anything. The chief of police actually clapping. Mazel tov. What are you doing? Arrest him. What? He just attacked an innocent 8 days old baby. Who gave him permission? What do you mean? It's the Torah. But he said the Torah is nothing. He doesn't believe in God. If he said, I believe in God, the Torah is the word of God, okay, you're not guilty. But if you say the Torah is just a piece of paper, then cutting, circumcising a baby, it's a huge crime. You have to go to jail. It cannot be one leg here and one leg in the opposite side. Make up your mind. There is a God, the Torah is divine. You're allowed to circumcise a baby. You don't believe in God, there is no Torah. You're not allowed to scratch one little scratch from a baby's body. You make him bleed, you have to get arrested. So how do you deal with such a conflict? I'll make it easy for you. There is not one atheist in the world. Don't ever believe they're garbage. They all believe in God and they all know the Torah is divine. They just don't want to change their evil lifestyle, that's it. So they'll do everything they can. By the way, some lefties, they make Brit Milah not for God. Why they make Brit Milah? Do you know why?
Should it be different?
That when the kid join the army, it's going to be in a public shower. They don't want him to be different than the rest of the soldiers and attract negative attention. Not because they believe that it's something that needs to be done. People that made Brit Milah for this reason, they get a mitzvah or no?
No.
What do you think? Halacha, mitzvot tzrichot kavana. Mitzvot d'oraita, mitzvah from the Torah, needs kavana. But what happens if a person did mitzvah from the Torah without kavanah? He puts tefillin and he thinks about his business while he's putting the tefillin. Wow, I have a big meeting today. He's thinking. He doesn't even remember. He made bracha. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kidshanu mitzvotav tzivanu laniach tefillin. And this entire time he thinks about the office. What should I say? What should I do? The client's going to come. What time they're going to show up? It's not connected to the mitzvah. All of a sudden he wakes up, he's in Az Yashir Moshe. Az Yashir Moshe, Ubnei Israel. Oh, did I make bracha? How did I put tefillin? Did I even stand up? He doesn't remember. This Rashi, it's Rabbeinu Tam. Wow, I'm confused. So now, does he get a reward that day for putting tefillin, or he counts like he didn't put tefillin? Huh? Halacha I'm talking, not Gemara. Gemara, every subject is, there is a debate about it. But once it was ruled, mitzvot tzrichot kavanah. That's halacha. So someone who didn't have kavanah.
He had kavanah for a different reason.
No, but you need the right kavanah. You have to think, I am dedicating the heart, which is where the Yetzer Hara is, the evil inclination, and dedicating the brain, which is where the soul is, dedicating it to the master of universe, to my Father in heaven, who commanded me to put tefillin on the heart and between the eyes. Why over here? Because this eye starts here, and this eye starts here. There's like some kind of a cross between the two eyes. And when you put the tefillin over here, it's right between the two eyes. That's why you have to make sure that tefillin is not too big. Sometimes they make it very big. It's on the eyes, not between the eyes. When the tefillin is too big, it's really actually on the eyes. The Torah says, ben enechem. It has to be between the eyes. Top. Anyway, Rabotai, technically he didn't think about tefillin at all. Aval, when the mitzvah is mitzvah that you have to do an action, it cannot be done by itself. Some mitzvot, let's say, you have to now think, Hashem, I love you. There is no action here, only a thought. So if you didn't think it, you did not perform the mitzvah at all. Either you thought, Hashem, I love you, or you didn't think, Hashem, I love you. If you didn't think, you didn't perform the mitzvah. But when you actually need to do something, there is no way to do something without thinking about it, at least from your subconscious. Even though you're doing it as a robot, and it's a daily act, that's why you don't need to think about it, but there was no way to do something without thinking, I have to do this and this and that. So you don't have a perfect kavanah, but there's no way to do it without thinking, I have to do this and this and that. There's no way, it's not going to be done by itself. So in the end, b'di'evet is mo'il. Even though he wasn't thinking the right thing, in b'di'evet, אי-אפשר to put tefillin without thinking I'm putting tefillin. Ish Chay lulav. You think about something else. I didn't have kavanah. So why did I pick it up to begin with? I didn't pick this and went like this. I actually picked up the lulav and the etrog. Why I didn't pick the newspaper and went like this? Because after all, you see, as much as I wasn't paying attention, there was a partial intention anyway. Same thing when sometimes you want to drive to a place and accidentally you came to a place that you always go there every day. Oh, what am I doing here? Why? Because the road is 90% the same. Usually you make a right turn and you go to your office. This time you had to go to the left. But because you're so used to it, you drive automatically and then you go to and you find yourself in the office. Wow, by mistake I came here. Why? Because in your mind, the brain knows that after this, there is a right turn. You get the point, right? That leads me, all this introduction, to the topic of tonight's lecture. We saw in Parashat Vayakel Usually we read it together with Pikudei. Vayakel Pikudei. It's two parashot that usually we read them together. Why this year we don't read them together? Because it's a leap year. We have 13 months this year, not 12 months. Adar Aleph and Adar Bet. So we have extra 4 weeks. Therefore we don't need so many double parashot. We can break them to one single parasha, because we have, Baruch Hashem, enough Shabbatot. So, it's written in a parasha, וכל חכם לב בכם, יבואו ויעשו את כל אשר ציווה השם. In the Torah, my guess, from memory, at least 10 times, the Torah used the expression chacham lev, meaning smart heart. We all know wisdom comes from where? From the heart or from the brain? There's no such thing in the Torah. You will never find in the Torah any compliment to someone that has a sharp brain. No such thing. Did you ever see in the Tanakh that the Tanakh compliment a person that has a great memory? That has a great brain, sharp brain, fast brain? No, there's no such thing. Hashem is not impressed from sharp brains. He's not impressed from people that have photographic memories. He's not impressed with people that analyze things quickly in their brain 100 times faster than ordinary people. He's not impressed from great mathematicians and great surgeons and none of that. Who is he impressed with? Only chachmei lev. Chacham lev. First we have to understand what is the difference between chacham rosh to chacham lev. Chacham means wise. Rosh means head. Lev means heart. Since the Torah does not praise at all people with sharp brain, but the Torah always praise people that have smart heart, then obviously we know that to be smart in a heart is much more important than to have a sharp brain. But we still have to understand, what does it mean, chacham lev? Who knows what does it mean, chacham lev? What's special about the heart? The wisdom is not in the heart. The heart is the place of the evil inclination. Like the Gemara say, Ain ro'a ve'alev chomed. You look at the not modest woman, and the heart begin to boil. Your blood is boiling. Your entire body is boiling. What makes it? It starts with the eye. Same thing, food. Wow, look at this meat. Just came from the barbecue. And you didn't eat all day. You're about to attack it? Your friends say, hey, calm down. It's not Arav Mahfoud. It's Arav Mahmoud. But not Arav Mahfoud. The Ashgacha, it's questionable. What do you mean? It's the rabbi from the university in Manhattan. He's the Mashgiach. You count on him? You say God needs us. God is a needy. Poor God is lonely. He needs us to save him from his misery. You count on someone like this that the meat is kosher? Heretic like that? If it's the shochet, for sure the meat is not kosher. Someone that is a kofar, Rabbi Korach, shchitato nevela, the Rambam writes. Shchitato nevela. Even if he followed exactly the halacha of shchita, of slaughtering, check the knife, everything, did in the right place, fast, just like the Torah demand, because his mind is corrupted, the meat is not kosher. Now we're beginning to understand what does it mean, chacham lev. I'm going to give you a hint. Chazal, our sages, they say, DAAT kanita, ma chasarta. DAAT chasarta, ma kanita. Before I translate, first I would like you to understand that when it comes to wisdom, It's divided in the Torah to 3 categories. 3 categories. Chochma, bina, DAAT. That's why Chabad call themselves Chabad. Chabad, Chet, Bet, Dalet, Chet, Chochma, Bet, Bina, Dalet, DAAT. So now the Torah explains that you have 3 channels of wisdom in life. One is intelligence. That's chokhmah. What does it mean, intelligence? Someone give you instructions. Instructions. Drive 10 blocks, make a right. Second turn, make a left. You're going to see a big house, go around. You're going to see parking. He gives you, you imagine the scenario and you follow the instruction. That's called intelligence. Everyone has intelligence, some more, some less, but that's why we learn how to do things in life, how to build furniture, how to deal, how to write. That's called chokhmah. Some are more smart than others. They have more chokhmah than others. Yeah, chokhmah you can improve. The more you learn, the more you develop it, no problem. Then you have bina. Bina, wisdom. What's the difference between chokhmah and bina? Chokhmah is whatever you heard, you understand. Not more and not less. Bina means you understand things that were not told to you, were not mentioned to you. And you understood it anyway by making an investigation in your head. Give you an example. 2 times x equals 6. Anyone told you how much is x? It's unknown. Nowhere in the article it told you that x is equal to 3. How did you find out that x is equal to 3 if no one ever told you that? That's called bina. Mevin davar mitoch davar. You heard the news. They say the police arrived to the murder scene 5 minutes after the shooting. And the murderer was already gone. The police found mud on the rug next to the body. That's it. That's what they said on the news. You're driving in your car, you're listening to the news. What part you got that they did not say in the article?
It was raining.
It was raining that day. That the murderer left tracks. He was stepping in the mud. Either it was raining or he stepped in a place where there was water running. And mud stuck to his legs, to his feet, and was left on a rug. And this is going to help the police to catch the murderer. Why? Because in a lab, they check the kind of sand. There's different kinds of sand. They can tell you this sand belongs in Brooklyn, this one in Rockland County. There's differences. Or it mixed with other things, and based on that, they know what trees are in that area. And from that, they begin to search according to what they found. All of these things, meaning it's detective work, it's called bina. Rashi makes a comment. If you're clever, from the comment you know what bothers him. He doesn't say it. But by the way he explains, why Rashi say it in such a strange way? You begin to think, and it's, he's already answering another question, by the way. That's why he wrote it this way and not this way. That's called bina. The more you practice in life, the more you develop your bina, meaning you are a clever detective. You walks into the room, you look, you know right away who's the murderer, black, white, male, female, tall, short, righty, lefty. Good detective see the bullet in the head, and he can tell you if it was shot by a righty or a lefty. If it was with the left hand or with the right, based on the angle of this, of the bullet. Or if you got hit on the right side, left side, this angle, that angle. or how the blood is on a wall. They can tell you how exactly he smashed his head. All of these things called bina. So remember, we have chochma, everybody has chochma. As you're a child, they're teaching you things and you learn. You learn how to eat, you learn how to drink, you learn how to get dressed, you learn how to use a fork and a knife. That's called all chochma. Bina is understanding the missing parts in a story, and it's crucial. Usually from the bina you get the whole picture. Without it you don't get anything. So now you have 2 out of the 3. The third one is by far the most important one. That's called DAAT. DAAT, before I explain what DAAT means, I will attach the words of the sages in the Gemara. They say, if you have DAAT, you have everything in life. If you don't have DAAT, you don't have anything in life. Meaning your entire life depends on a one subject. You have DAAT or you don't have DAAT. You have DAAT, you're a complete person. You don't have anything. You're a piece of wood. You're beginning to think, what do you mean I don't have anything? Let's say I don't have DAAT. I don't know what DAAT is. Let's say I don't have it. I have a house, yeah? I have a car, I have a watch, I have a nice suit. What does it mean I don't have it? I have children, I have a lot of things. What does it mean I don't have anything? We have to understand, it's a mystery. Now comes the answer. The answer means that is the ability to take your chochma and your bina and translate it into actions. That's the hardest part. Meaning you make the heart surrender to your brain. The brain knows what's right, what's wrong, what's written in the Torah, what's not written, what's forbidden, what's permitted, what's recommended to do, what's not recommended to do. But the heart has a different way of operating. The heart follow pleasure, striving for pleasure. That's what's special about the heart. The heart follow desires. Desire for food, desire for sport, desire for women, desire for jewelry. Desires. This is where the evil inclination is. You have attractions, natural attractions to things in life. Not everyone have, by the way, the same attractions. For instance, if you take 100 people, my guess would be that 98 of them have strong attraction to food. But I met over the years people that hate to eat. Not for diet, not for health reason. Just don't want to eat. Beg them, come, look at the delicious steak, delicious sushi, delicious pizza. No, I'm good. Nah. Don't have desire for food. Skinny like the tripod. But there's no attraction for food. Come, there's going to be delicious food. It's a waste of time. Let me buy you a lunch. No, I'm good. Why? It's not attracted to food. Someone that don't care about food, it will be very difficult to bring him into a lecture by putting sushi and pizza will be served. He has it in the house, he doesn't touch it. He's going to come to hear the annoying speaker. But someone that food is the main thing in his life, as soon as he see on the flyer, sushi and pizza will be served, where is the lecture? So, person that has attraction to food, I don't have to tell you how much he struggles with food. Usually people like this are way overweight, have all kinds of health issues. Those who don't have any desire for food, usually they're very skinny, healthy, no high cholesterol, no high sugar, usually. Now you have attraction to materialism. Person is addicted to material, art, rugs, cars, watches, Everything that is physical pleasure. Things that gives him physical pleasure. Comfortable couch, comfortable bed, comfortable mattress, great car, looks great, expensive watch. Some people are very, very opposite of materialism. They don't want. They want it simple, they don't care it's old, they don't care about the color, they don't care about anything. I have a place to put my head, Baruch Hashem. On the floor, mattress, this, I don't care about the bed. Therefore, someone like that has no problem flying economy. Doesn't need a fancy business class. Why? It's not materialistic. If he doesn't have attraction to physical pleasure, he can manage everywhere. Put him in the army, put him in jail, doesn't matter. Ben Ish Chay, the holy Ben Ish Chay, he signs on all the documents of his brothers in a business in Baghdad. Brothers were business people, and he was learning all his life. Chief rabbi of Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, all these areas. So the brothers were supporting him, he was learning Torah, and because he was never in business, his reputation was clean. He doesn't know money, never went bankrupt, didn't have bound checks, never had problems. So the brothers used his name in their businesses. Everything Yosef Chaim, Yosef Chaim, Yosef Chaim. Until business went bad, they couldn't pay what they owe. The police say, who's the owner of this business? Yosef Chaim. Where is he? In a Bet Midrash. Chacham. Yalla, faddal. What? We're taking you to jail. They put him in jail. Until the trial. How many days he was in jail? 30 days. 1 month in the Iraqi jail of Saddam Hussein. Before Saddam Hussein was born. I don't have to tell you, I've never been in that jail, but I can assume that it's not, let's say it's not the jail in Israel, that you get peanut butter and jelly and a plasma TV to watch soccer games and play sheshbesh or hummus. It wasn't such a pleasant jail in Baghdad. And the Ben Ish Chay said that the most valuable time in his life was those 30 days that he was in jail. He reached the highest level spiritually when he was there. If they put us in jail, I don't know if we would come out of there. Most people kill themselves there. Even they know it's only a month or 2 months, whatever. Why is it? Because materialistic people, you take away material from them, they have no more reason to live. They don't want to live. Take away their home, take away their car, take away their watch. What do I need to live for? That's it. Kill me, it's better. That's why someone that loves money so much is willing to risk his life for $100 bill. 30 years ago, I had an Israeli friend. Back then there was beepers. There were no cell phones. No cell phones. I'm talking to you 1995. Around that time, 94, 95. 30 years ago. The guy opened up a store for beepers. Most of you probably don't even know what beepers are. The old ones know. Beepers used to be a little box, size of this keychain, not much like that, has a little screen there. And you have it on your belt, and all of a sudden it begins to beep. Toot, 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 toot. You look, it displays a telephone number. You go to a payphone, you put the quarters, you put a quarter in, you call, you looking for me? So the people that needs you, there's no cell phone, so they beep. They send you like a SMS, not text, like a beep, and then you see the number and you call. Most of the time you don't know who the number is. You don't know, should I call, should I not call? Maybe it's some annoying person. Why are you beeping me now? Is it an emergency? If you recognize the number, you know who it is. Later, they became more advanced after a year or two. They started to have a beeper with a screen that is wider, and you can type like 3 or 4 lines. Hi, this is Joe. Call me, it's about the check. Urgent. And the number display. That made life a lot easier. And then they invented a cell phone size of a watermelon, and from then on until you have
Only in the car.
all the advanced things that you have today, it's a process of about 30 years. So, the guy had a beeper store. One time, he opened up the store. What time? 10 a.m. He has a cash register. He opened it. He put $20 in a cash register to start the day. A robber came in with a gun. It's a robbery. Give me everything you have in a cash register. How much he had there? $20. $20. Instead of telling the guy, take the whatever it's in the register, take the register also with you. Take whatever you want. Just don't shoot. What did this fool did? He was so greedy, he was worried about his $20. He has a button for the police, for robberies. The guy realized, shot him. But he doesn't know how to shoot. His hand moved, shot him in the leg. For 30 years, this Israeli idiot is crippled for $20. Why? Greed. Love for money. Willing to die for $20. Someone that is not greedy, not materialistic. Turn around to the wall, sir, take whatever you want, whatever. Feel like at home. Take. You relax the robber. The robber is also nervous. Take whatever you want. Oh, Baruch Hashem, I have a good victim. He's a fool, he is letting me take. Why should he shoot you? Turn around, you go like this, take whatever you want, relax, feel like you're home. Should I make you coffee? How do you like your coffee? Or maybe decaf? I told you the story about Mr. Vaknin, no? You remember the story of Mr. Vaknin? Mr. Vaknin is a Moroccan-Israeli tzaddik. He lives in Yerushalayim, close to Machne Yehuda market. He has a good minhag, good custom. Every Thursday night, all his grandchildren come to his apartment. He learns with them the parsha, right? Thursday night, so Shabbat's parsha, upcoming parsha, with Rashi, from 8 to 9. His wife told him, we need to go to the shuk to do shopping. I don't have anything in the house. It's empty. Closet's empty. The fridge is empty. Tomorrow it's a short day, winter time. We're not going to have time for shopping and to cook. Why don't you tell the kids to come tomorrow morning to learn, and now we go together to the shuk and we do shopping. He said to her, listen, it's every week, why changing now? Don't worry, I'll wake up early tomorrow, be in the shuk by 8 a.m. already. He'll have enough time. When he finished teaching the kids, the last one just left. It was a few minutes after 9. 5 minutes later, someone knocked on the door. He thought one of the kids maybe forgot something. Comes, he opened the door, a gun. Don't move! Why shoot? What? It's a robbery. What do you want? Give me all your money and jewelry and everything. He started, why you came to us? We're so poor. We don't have what to eat. Open the fridge, open the closet, empty. We don't have money to buy food for Shabbat. You come to rob us? What jewelry? Open the fridge, see. The guy opened the fridge, totally empty. Open the closet, empty. You came to us to rob us? We do not know how we're going to eat tomorrow night for Shabbat. The guy say, until I finally come to rob someone, he doesn't have a penny. Took out 300 shekels from his pocket. Here, grandpa, buy things on me for Shabbat.
And come back next week.
He said to his wife, you see, if we would go to the market, we pack the house with whatever we do every week. What excuse will I give the guy? Now, because we did not cancel the Shiur Torah, all your jewelry, all your things, all got saved. Then he would go to the bedroom, open the closet, see all the the Moroccan jewelry from Morocco. You get the point or no? So, Rabotai, Chazal say, DAAT kanita ma chasarta. You have DAAT, you have nothing to worry about. You don't have DAAT, you don't have anything. Whatever you have, well, this, that, it's nothing. This is all anyway fly by the night. Life is a blink of the eye, it's very short. Before you realize it will be over, the question is if you had DAAT or not. DAAT means the ability to learn what's right and what's wrong, what's allowed and what's not allowed, and to practice it. Most people in the world have chochma and bina, but they don't have DAAT. They are doing horrible things. For 5 or 10 or 15 minutes of pleasure, they're willing to jeopardize their eternity, to lose everything for 10 minutes. For cigarettes, they're willing to lose their olam haba. For women, they're willing to lose their olam haba. I can give you thousands of examples. You get the point. What does it mean that I'm dying to do it, but I will not dare? As much as it's boiling now in my heart and this, I'm not going to dare. Why? It's Isur Karet. Torah says it's cut for the soul. You think I'm crazy? That's called DAAT. Chochma, bina, and DAAT. So if you have DAAT, you'll be a tzaddik. That's the most important thing. The rest of the things you have, it's today you have it, tomorrow you don't have it, it's not going to add anything. If you don't have DAAT, you can have billions of dollars, you can have, a lot of different things. You don't have DAAT, you're going to be rasha, you'll be wicked. So your pleasure will be until the minute you die. Then the suffering will begin. So basically, it's all depend on DAAT. Now, when the Torah says chacham lev, it means someone that has full DAAT. Meaning that his knowledge in the head went down to the heart and suppressed all the desires. Now, one more comment. The evil inclination of every human being, is it the same?
No.
We already established an understanding that every person has desires for different things. Every person have evil inclination? The answer is yes. Everyone, Jews, non-Jews, everyone is evil inclination. Everyone also have desires. Are desires and evil inclination are the same thing, or it's two different things?
We said it's different.
Is it the same term, or it's two different terms? For sure, they're related to each other. The question is it one thing or two things?
Two things.
Two things, you're right. Who can define to me what does it mean evil inclination and what does it mean desires?
Desire is want.
So I can have
Desire is want. Evil inclination is doing. He's doing bad stuff.
You're not far, no? Huh? Anyone?
desire can be positive also, no? Can desire be positive also?
Yeah, you have desire to learn Torah. It's a positive desire. You have desire to do tshuva. It's a positive desire. You have desire to work very hard in Avodat HaKodesh. It's a good desire. You have desire to save souls. It's a very good desire. So some desires are very good. So I'll tell you what is the connection. The evil inclination, that means that there is a Satan in the world. He's in charge of all the evil things. His job is to do as much as he can to make every one of us a bigger sinner by the minute. If you stay the same righteous like you were a minute ago, that's a failure for him. He's very upset. He has no limitation. He's an angel. He's a spiritual thing, and he has a big army of angels under him. And his job is to focus on every human being, Jews, non-Jews, everyone. How can I make him worse than what he was a minute ago? And worse, and worse, and worse. And he never, ever have mercy on anyone. That's how Hashem programmed him. And he never full of his success. No matter how much he achieved with you, success, he still feel I have not done enough. I didn't bury this Jew or Goy enough. I can do better. That's the way Hashem programmed this Satan, who was in charge of the evil inclination. He's also in charge of death, meaning Hashem gave him the power to kill people. Malach HaMavet, the Gemara says. The Yetzer Hara, the Satan, and Malach HaMavet, it's all one entity. He comes and make you commit a sin, then he comes to testify against you, and he's the one who will poke the soul out of the body. Same one. He's in charge of all the bad. He is also, besides Hashem, the second best matchmaker in history. The Gemara says, since Hashem created the world, what is he doing? The answer, making matchmaking. Not just husband and wife. Two partners, neighbors, doctor and a patient, two roommates in school, a rabbi and a student, two guys in yeshiva. Matchmaking is everywhere, all the time. Between people, between companies, you know. It's a lot of matching needed. The Satan is doing the same thing, but in order to make more evil. For instance, if one individual wants to rob a bank, he has the computer skills. He's a good hacker. He knows to terminate the alarm. He knows to terminate the security. He knows how to penetrate the vault and change the codes. But he doesn't have physical strength to drill, to break. There is someone else who knows how to drill, who knows how to cut, who knows how to break the locks. He's a good locksmith. He knows, he listens, he knows how to open the safe, but he doesn't know how to pass the alarm, all the lasers, everything. The Satan introduced them to each other in a party. Hey, what do you do? I'm a locksmith, I'm breaking, I'm dealing, I work this, I did that. What do you do? I'm in security, in alarms. Let's have together, they drink, they get a little drunk. And then the guy said, well, business was very bad this year. Since COVID, I don't know, I got to find another source of income. You're right, man. By me, it's also very bad. The Satan orchestrated the partnership. Until they robbed Chase Bank. Police, a robbery. What? In Manhattan. And if they need a gunman, they'll meet another 2-3 guys with guns, this, that. Everyone, put your head down. Give me the money. How they all meet? All these criminals, the Satan is a matchmaker. The Satan see a Jew that have desire for women, right away send someone to invite him to the great Christmas party in Manhattan. And right when this Itzik from Tel Aviv walks in, thinking is, right away Christina showed up. Hi, what's your name? Isaac. Isaac, where are you from? Italy. Really? I'm also Italian. I'm not exactly from Italy. I was just, it's my stepmother. She started to speak to him Italian. Oh, you Israeli? Ah, you kill Palestinians. You're not for me. The Satan knows who to find for who, don't worry. And what happened? The Satan knows the weaknesses of every person based on his behavior, things that he likes to do, and he finds him always temptations, traps. He put always traps in his way. He knows he's an angry person, he will find who to get him crazy, that he should become violent and curse. That's his job, to put trap in front of the people. He will make you tired in the middle of a lecture. In the middle of the lecture, all of a sudden he's going to bring you ideas. Maybe you got an important text message in 10 p.m. Why are you listening to the lecture now? I mean, you could be making fortune now at 10 p.m. Well, not exactly, but you have to be ready for tomorrow in the office. When you have to learn, maybe you got an important business call in the middle of a Torah class. So, Rabotai, you got the point. He knows this guy's after women, he'll get him to where the women are. This guy's after money, he'll get him where the money is. This guy's after food, he'll get him to the food. Someone who's after everything, he will knock him out here and there. So basically, who destroys our life? This Satan. So the Satan, since he's the evil inclination, he knows our natural desires, and he finds external temptation, external, what the world has to offer, and he match between your natural desire to what's out there. He will not match a non-Jewish girl to someone who has no desire to go with women. He's happy with what he has and that's it. He's watching his eyes. It's not going to work. He's not going to make a match between someone who sells Swiss expensive watches or this stupid Richard Mille Mickey Mouse watch to Bachur Yeshiva who doesn't even understand anything about watches. It's not going to work. Who is he going to get the watch to? To a nice Syrian guy, as a Bukhari, as a Persian from Great Neck, who likes to show off. Hey, Saeed, kif halak? I just got a great bargain. What? My friend has two special discontinued model. It's usually 200 grand. If you tell him I send you, you can get it for half a price. The Satan didn't send this guy to Moshe from the yeshiva. Why? Moshe doesn't know between a watch from Chinatown and the Mickey. He cannot tell. This one is $20, this one is $300,000. He doesn't know. What's the point? So he takes your natural desire based on your knowledge and what you are attracted to and direct you to places that will destroy you. So what do we do against this problem? We pray every morning. Atzileni mi yetzer hara. Save me from the evil inclination. And also we ask, help us remove the Satan from in front of us and remove the Satan from behind us. What's this to request? Usually you should say, remove the Satan from in front. It's a trap. I'm about to fall to his trap. Move him. Okay, you moved him and I passed. Baruch Hashem, I'm unarmed. But why I care behind if you move the Satan behind me or not? Let him go back. What do I care? I passed already. I passed the bridge. Whatever happened, it's going to happen. I'm already out of here. What does it mean? It's not physically, in front or behind. It's before the sin and after the sin. What does it mean? Right now I'm about to fall into the trap. I'm begging you, Hashem, remove him. Remove this test that I should not fail. Okay, I removed. Baruch Hashem, I passed, I'm safe. Now I'm asking, remove him also from after the test. Why? Because right after I pass, immediately the Satan is like a double agent. First he wants you to commit a sin. If you committed a sin, what does he do? He said, look at you, you loser. You call yourself religious? Hashem cannot look at you. It's such a faker. Why are you even going to shul? You forgot what you did a minute ago? How you pretend now? You come to shul. 5 minutes ago you just did a horrible thing. So what does he do? First he kills you on the sin. Then he kills you on your desire to do tshuva. That's called in Hebrew, vidui hariga. How do you say it in English? Making sure you're really dead. You know how sometimes the terrorists, they put a bomb and there's a lot of people sleeping there. Now some of them may be dead, some of them pretend to be dead. If they want to make sure that someone is dead, just in case they give another bullet or two to the head. If they don't do it, they'll find out a month later that this person came out. Wow, it was right in front of me. That's called vidui hariga, making sure that the target is actually dead. This is what the Satan do. First he put a trap, he makes you fall, then he comes and say, you loser, you're worthless. What is the point? You prayed already 100 times and you're still doing the same sin. And like this, he makes you weak and unable to repent, and in the end, Hashem Yerachim. What happened if you pass the test? He put a trap, and you did not fall. You were strong. Again he comes after that. But this time in a different way. He cannot tell you, you loser, look at you, because you're a winner. He said, he's such a tzaddik. The Baba Sali wouldn't pass such a test. You better than the Rebbe. The Rebbe, who's the Rebbe compared to you? You, mamash, you should be Rosh Yeshiva. You a wasted talent. What happened? His ego is growing by the minute. He walks into the yeshiva, the rabbi asks something. It's none of your business, Rabbi, please. What made him become so arrogant? After he passed the test, the Satan supposedly lost. What is it like? Like in a casino. People go to the casino. I heard that story, who knows, 20, 30 times by now, from different people. So you're not going to believe what happened to me. I went to the casino for 2 days, 3 days. I gamble, I make money, make, for hours. Then I say, okay, I'm out. Give me all the chips. So the dealer said, let's go one last round. All or nothing. You know that? After 10 hours, sweating, nervous, you're about to get a heart attack. What? All or nothing. What? 22. The dealer goes like this. Now you can go. That's what the Satan does. After he supposedly lost, you're on the top now. You want to get up and leave. No, I have to get you in a different way. What do? I begin to flatter you. Wow, such a tzaddik. People don't appreciate you enough here. You should have been promoted. How do they dare to give you such a job? Do something about it. No one is like you. What happened? Boom, you attack your boss and you get fired. What got you fired? The Satan from behind. It looked like you're winning. He pulled a trick, similar to the Christians. The Christian had a plan. What? To turn all Jews to Christians. How did they do it? With violence. Inquisition, tortures, ripping them in the stomach to two, breaking their spines, torturing pregnant women, close their legs, not letting them give birth, stretching people, hanging them with their head down, all kinds of horrible things they did. 500 years ago in Spain and Portugal, words cannot describe the tortures they did. Similar to the Hamas. They saw the Jews are not breaking. Even if they pretend they became Christian, as soon as they free, immediately They're Jews again. What's going on? No matter how much we torture this nation, they don't leave their tradition. They came up with a substitute plan. What is it? Kissing up. Hi, brother. How are you? I'm also Jewish. I'm a follower of Yeshua. I'm a follower of JC. What? You going to the synagogue? We also go. Wow, what's the problem? I believe in God. I believe in the prophets. I believe in the Torah. I'm religious. I eat kosher. Ma, you don't believe the Messiah is JC? Oh, come on. I can prove it to you. So how do? They give you money. Oh, I heard you need money for rent. We can help. You behind on a mortgage? Piece of cake. Don't worry. Come on Sunday. I will introduce you to someone. Problem is resolved. With honey. Come. We'll help you out. You need mezuzot? On us. We'll get you red mezuzot. Why red? Red is ugly. Give me something white, nice, clear. Why red? Red is the blood of JC. Wait until you open it and see what they wrote inside, Hashem Yerachim. They saw violence does not work. They started with missionaries activities all over the world. But they don't go after Muslims. You will never find a Christian missionary come to Ahmed or Mustafa in any Arab country. Dear brother Ahmed, why don't you come on Sunday to discover our Savior, J.C. Penney? Ahmed said, sure? What? Come here! Pull out his knife. התגדל והתקדש מרבה for Chris. They know their limit. Jews are not murderers. Nobody's going to pull out something and kill him for trying to convert him to an idol worshipper. Try it with the Arab. Good luck with that. If the Nazis would try to make a Holocaust to the Arabs instead of to the Jews, you will not have one Nazi alive after 2 months. They would burn the entire Germany and Poland and everything. Do you think one Arab would stand on line to the gas chambers? Would let them take his glasses and shoes and make a pile? Chayot teref, wild animals. You coming to kill me? I'm an animal, I will rip you to pieces. You can kill the Jews, they're nice, polite. They stand on, look how nice they stand on line before you burn them. Try in Paris, they say, everyone who takes a picture for his driver's license must take off the cover of the head. You know, the women, they cover the face. How are we going to take a picture for the license? Remove it. It's against my religion. You cannot get a license. 10,000 cars are burning in a few hours in Paris. That's the language they understand. Don't dare to mess with me. You mess with me, you'll all be dead. By the way, in Gaza, you have some people that would rather live in peace. Let the Jews live there, let me live here, let me work in Israel, make a good money over there in construction. Enough! I don't want bombs falling on my head every year or two. Rebuilding my home, and let them live as much as I hate them. I don't want headache. But they don't have a say. Because this monster turned you into a terrorist. If not, they'll kill your kids. Go and make an attack. You're a traitor. You are a lefty Arab. There's no such thing by us lefty traders. Go put a bomb. Leave me alone. I'm not in Hamas. You go and put a bomb, and if you don't put a bomb, we'll kill your brother and your sister and your son. That's what they do. That's why the Jews are always surprised in the end. He works for you, Ahmed, 2 or 3 years in your company, then he gets up and slaughter you. Why? It wasn't his original plan. If he doesn't do it, they'll kill his kids. So in the end, no matter what, no matter how nice he is to you, no matter how much he have done for you, No matter how much he saved you money in a job and he called you, hey, there is a damage here, what should I do? Wow, such a loyal Arab. Since when he warned the Jew from the Jew is losing money? Until now he was like that, until one of the terrorists will find out that he's nice to the Jews, and in 1 second it will turn him into a monster. This is the way it is. So Rabotai, going back to what I said, time is running out. In the Torah, nobody cared that your brain is sharp. Nobody cared you know math perfectly. Nobody cared you have a photographic memory. No one you care that you won Nobel Prize in science. It gives you zero credit in the eyes of God. Zero credit. In this world, people admire you. They maybe name streets after you. They will put a picture of you in a museum. But by the eyes of Hashem, you're nothing but a piece of meat. When Hashem acknowledge you and admire you, when you take your knowledge and translate it into righteousness, you become a righteous person. This is what the Torah says. A person that controls his desire is greater than any general in a war. King Solomon wrote this. Moshel berucho adif mikatzin. Katzin means an officer, a big general, is nothing compared to someone that controls his desire now and does not practice on his evil inclination and desire. And the Pirkei Avot says, Ezu הגבור הכובש את יצרו. Who is a hero? Not someone who win in a war. Not someone in October 7 killed 50 Arabs with one gun. There is a guy like this. No, 50, 20, 30. They ask him, with one gun you killed 20 or 30? They're all with RPGs, machine guns. He say, I hide. I see one, attack him and hide. Attack and hide. Attack and hide. This was a big soldier from one of the elite unit. So everyone admire him. Who knows how many Jews would have died without you? They deserve a great admiration, no question about it. But that's nothing compared to someone who has desire to do something so bad, and for the sake of Hashem, he doesn't do it. It's a lot harder than to be a great soldier or to be a great engineer or a doctor. A lot harder. That's why judges can be pedophiles. Judges can be gamblers. Judges can be drug addicts. Judges can be masochists. They go to women, pay them to beat them up, to do all kinds of crazy things. And he decides life and death, who's going to sit in prison, who's going to go to jail, who's going to come out. This monster that sits in a court could be a pedophile. Who knows? Could be corrupted, can receive bribe. Why? He cannot control his desire. He's a loser. He's educated in university. Who cares? There's no credit for that. You only get credit for that in the eyes of the lefty liberals who corrupted the world anyway. In the eyes of God and his followers, education, meaning secular education, is nothing. He may be a tool for you to make money, but make no mistake, you would make that money with or without that education. That's the biggest mistake of people, include religious people. Oh, this guy's worth $20 million. Why? Because he's a cardiologist. No, you fool. This person had to have $20 million at this age, with or without medicine. He chose to be a big doctor. Hashem directed him to a job that will bring him money. If he decided not to be a doctor, Hashem will make him a jeweler. If he wouldn't like jewelry, Hashem will make him a broker of loans or stock market broker. Or, there's many other jobs who bring money. If he doesn't want to work, he'll find a treasure. Find a treasure. In the Bukharian neighborhood in Yerushalayim, there's a street called Avinadav. You have a big shul there of the Hasidim. It's called haTzafon. One minyan after the other around the clock. haTzafon. Everybody knows. When you walk Rehov Avinadav, first right you have, you go up the hill, very sharp up the hill, straight, about 200-300 yards. You're going to meet the yeshiva of the Kabbalist, Rav Yitzchak Kaduri, alav hashalom. He has yeshiva over there, Nachalat Yitzchak. That's where all the Kabbalah that they learn. He was a big Mekubal. He lived, I think, to 107 years old, or 106. And now they still have the yeshiva. One time I stayed in Yerushalayim for Shabbat there by my uncle and aunt. And me and my uncle, he's the husband of my aunt. We had to walk all the way up to the yeshiva of Rav Kaduri because I wanted to get a bracha from Rav Kaduri. I'm already in the neighborhood. It's a great opportunity. Me and my uncle climbing the hill. It's very, very high street. As on the way back, my uncle asked me, "You see this place?" I say, "Yes." So you see this, they're building a big shul, big yeshiva here. You know the story? I say, "No, I don't know." Who are they? Some Hasidim. No, what's the story? Say they bought the lot. They bought the lot. They don't have money to build. They need millions of dollars to build such a building. They went to ask the rabbi, what should we do? Should we collect until we have enough money to build? And that's when we start the construction? Or whatever we have, we start. We have enough to start digging. We begin to dig. We bring the tractors and we make the hole. While we're working, we will try to collect for the next level, and the next level, and the next level. But what happens if we run out of money? It's going to be a huge hole, and we don't have money to build the foundation. And it's going to stay like this. It may stay like this for years. What is the right way? If somebody asks you such a question, what would you say? What's better, to collect first all the money and now start the project quickly, or to collect as you progress, day by day? You may get stuck a week or two without cash. Once you get the cash, you call the workers back. We have some money, come continue. And little by little, after a few years, we'll finish the job. Which one of the two ways is the right way to build? Huh? Collect all the funds in advance? As you progress. That's what the rabbi said. That's what the rabbi told them. You have now enough to start digging? Dig! Anyway, there is a fence, so no one will fall there. Before you dig, the city makes you close the place with a fence. Dig. While you're digging, Hashem will send for the next level. Rabbi, but you don't understand. We don't need $2-3 million. We need 20, 30. We're talking a big 3 floors with basement, and a place for parties, for Brit Milah, rooms, marble, windows, expensive. Hashem runs the world. You have enough to dig. You have enough for foundation. Yalla. Good luck. They started to dig. What did they find? A huge box full of ancient treasure, gold coins, and all kinds of, from the time of the Ottoman Empire. Remember the Turks? They were in charge of Israel 200 years ago. They found an old each coin, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Priceless. There was enough, not just to be, I think until today they pay the bills. Every once in a while they cash out on the coins, which probably go up on the price every day. So, sometimes you get lucky. Hashem wanted, they bought the right lot. By the way, in Israel you have plenty of treasures. They just have to be lucky from Shamayim to find it. There's tons of gold and silver and all kinds of expensive things that are under the ground. Every once in a while you hear on the news, they just found a coin from the time of Bar Kokhba, a week ago. Do you know how much this coin worth now? This tiny coin, the size of a shekel in Israel, you know how tiny it is? Like the size of a dime. Probably over $1 million. Just this coin that they found. It's written on it, Bar Kokhba. Merit Bar Kokhba, more than 2,000 years old, the coin. I once was by Rabbi Aderet Shul in Monsey before he moved to Great Neck. He had 3 coins like this. I actually held the coin from more than 2,000 years old. And it's round, but it's not perfectly round because it was all handmade. It wasn't like today with a machine, it's exactly round. You see, mamash, it's a picture of a menorah on it. Manually made. Shkalim from the time of Bet HaMikdash. So, Rabotai, now let's conclude. Chachmei Lev is two-way street. Two-way street. It's written, Chacham Lev Ikach Mitzvot. Someone that has DAAT, that is wisdom and intelligence, was translated into good deeds, good action. He controls his evil inclination. He wins the battle. As results of that, he's hungry for mitzvot, not for money and for pleasure. For mitzvot, he collects as much as mitzvot as he can. He's a great investor. He always uses his head. Where can I make extra profit? Here. Let me invest here. I have one lady. She asked me warned me many times never to say her name. She said to me, Rabbi, why didn't you tell me that you're going to publish that Hebrew movie of yours on Shabbat that went over 1 million views? Why you didn't tell me that you're going to need money for that? You published it, it cost you money. Didn't I tell you once that every time you have a special new project that you're about to do that will bring a lot of Baalei Tshuva and wake up a lot of people, that I want to be the first one to put the money there? A religious woman. Smart. She didn't say, Rama, if you hear about a good real estate deal. You remember about 2 months ago I said that I have 2 genius Baalei Tshuva in Israel that developed a program to make fortune in a stock market. Do you know how many people send me messages? Can you introduce me to these guys? When I speak about a project that I want to do, if I'm lucky, I get one message. Can I help in this thing that you said? Maybe one, maybe. But when it was money, how can I invest money with these people? Can you make a meeting? Don't worry, we'll give you commission. I don't mind. I don't introduce them. Let people make money, and I don't need their commission. I don't ask for commission. If I can put 2 people together and they can make money with each other, I'm happy. Why? You don't need their commission. Hashem is the one who's zanu farnes lakol. Hashem see you do good things, it's up to him if he wants to send you money or not. It's nothing to do with him. Money doesn't come from commission, from being a broker, from running a business. This is all an illusion. Money comes with one decision of Hashem on Rosh Hashanah, how much he wants you to make this year. That's it. Hashem doesn't care you're a doctor or an accountant or a lawyer or I don't know, an artist. Doesn't matter. If you're a great artist, if Hashem doesn't want you to sell any painting this year, if Hashem wants you to have a good year, all of a sudden, President Trump will hear about you. He will give you a call. Hey, what's up? It's Donald. I heard you're a good artist. Can you send me some of your painting? I'll take this. How much? 31 million. We'll wire the money by the morning. Why? Hashem wanted you to make money. He brought the right person to look at your painting. If Hashem doesn't want you to make money, no one notices you. If Hashem wants you to make money, He will find a fool to like your lousy statue. Like that woman that paid 104 million for that ugly statue. Look like this tripod with the face of E.T. You look at it in the garbage, you wouldn't pick it up. You pass by in Brooklyn, you see it by the pile of the garbage, I promise you now one of them would look at it. So ugly. Over $100 million. Hashem wanted someone to make $46 million. He gave him an idea. Take a piece of canvas, take ketchup, go like this, ketchup on canvas, and don't worry, go and sell it. There's enough stupid people that will offer you money for it. How much? $46 million. Google it. Ketchup on canvas. By the way, it was resold for over 100 million. So the person that bought it, after all, is not that stupid. Maybe we are the stupid one. In the end, who is smiling on the way to the bank? We or him? The fool is laughing at us. You know, I have an expert in the stock market over 20 years ago. He once told me a sentence. He told me, you know, before the big crash of the market, I think it was 1987, something like that. He told me, you know, 2 years before or a year before, you know who made fortune? All the stupid people made millions, and all the experts in the stock market did not make a penny. I asked him how. He told me, I'll tell you how. The stupid people, they saw that no matter what they buy, goes up. Doesn't matter. You buy this, up. This one, up. Up, 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 up. So they buy. They got confidence. It's good? Yalla, buy 1,000 shares. 2,000 shares. It's all green, green, green. We knew the market is all a balloon. It's all an illusion. It must crash, explode. Any day it could happen. Once it's going to crash, in minutes, it's going to go 10, 20, 30% down in a day or two. And then you get wiped out. We couldn't take risks. So we waited and waited and waited. We thought, how long are we going to wait? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? We waited over a year. We barely did any business. We were not making money. We knew when is it going to explode? In the meantime, those fools, they made millions. And they went and bought real estate in Manhattan. A building in Manhattan was $4 million in those days. A huge building, $4 million. They made it in a month in the market. It's going up and up and up. They went, bought another building and another building and another building and another building. And then, boom, it crashed. Okay, so they lost what they lost. But in the meantime, they have real estate worth billions today. But some people were very greedy. Extra stupid. Meaning, they laugh at those people who bought real estate. You stupid. How much the real estate gonna bring you? You know how much rent was in Manhattan? Less than $1,000 for rent, an apartment. So you bought a building, you had 36 tenants. So you make $35,000 after expenses and plumbing and this and maintenance and taxes. You're left with $20,000 a month. You fool, we make it in a day. Why would you put $4 million in a building to make $20,000 a month when if with the same 4 million you make 20,000 in a day or 3 or 4 days? Sounds very convincing. So the people said, because this rally will not last forever. We all know one day it will explode. We want to have a backup plan. Those people say, come on. Every day it goes up and up and up. Boom, it crashed. So who made all the money? The fools. Who didn't make a penny? The experts. You get the point or no? Why? If Hashem wants, you know, in Israel they have a say, if Hashem רוצה, גם מטאטא יורה. If Hashem wants, a broom will also shoot. You don't need a real gun. A broom will shoot. This is actually written in a Gemara. Who knows? Which Gemara?
Oil in that. He wants vinegar.
Avraham Avinu took the sand and it turns into arrows. And another Gemara, Nachum Ish Gamzu. Nachum Ish Gamzu. He brought a treasure to the king. Someone switched it with sand. And when he arrived, they opened the box. Whoa, my gosh, where is all the gold? It's all sand. So the people say to the king, this Jew came to make fun at you, your majesty. You have to kill him. What is he bringing you, sand? Hashem sent Eliyahu Hanavi. Eliyahu Hanavi say he was supposedly like one of the goyim there. Your majesty, it's not just the sand. It's the sand that their father Abraham used in a war to release his nephew, Lot. Look, if you throw it, it becomes arrows. Really? Show us. Oh my God, it's a treasure. Thank you, Mr. Jew. So, in Israel they have a say, אם השם רוצה גם מטאטא יורה. If Hashem wants, the broom will shoot as well. Do you know the Malbim? He lived about 150 years ago. Malbim is a commentary on the Torah, on the Tanakh. It's extraordinary. For someone who only lived 6 generations ago, 5 generations ago, if you wouldn't know that he lived only 150 years ago, you would think he was in the time of Rashi. That's how great it is. There is a verse that the Malbim writes mamash a prophecy. It's a chitzav ki gibor maskil. There is a verse in the Torah, chitzav, the arrows is like a wise hero. That's written in the Torah. Arrows will be wise heroes. Nobody understood the meaning of it. The Malbim, 150 years ago. I want to remind you, there was no bombs like today, no missiles. There was no missiles 150 years ago. They didn't have airplanes. No missiles. We had guns, you put some powder, you make a little bit fire. Psh, put some more powder, you shoot. That's it, bow and arrow, that's what it was. The Malbim writes, there will be time that the arrows of the enemy will be smart to find their way independently into the target. It's written by the Malbim 150 years ago. You know, today they have missiles, they have a lens, you give coordinates, goes into the window. Or infrared. You know what's infrared? Just like magnet goes after metal, infrared goes after heat. So when you want to shoot a missile from the ground to knock down a F-16, the missile is targeting the heat of the engine of the plane. So you can see in the air how it keeps moving, shifting, left, right, depends. If the airplane is going to turn now, the missile's going to go towards the heat of the airplane. So how do you escape such a missile who is aiming on your engine? You release flares. In the F-16, on both sides, you have a square, you have a box full of flares. Each flare has, once the lid open, with oxygen in the air, it makes an explosion. Each one of them. So you have 30 flares in a box, you stick it, you have 4 screws, you put it in on both sides, and the pilot sees that he has flares over there. As soon as you shoot a missile towards the plane, he gets a warning. Warning. What does he do? He cuts to the left or to the right with a stick. He makes a sharp turn while he's releasing few flares. So what happened? The missile comes. First of all, it's very hard for the missile to make a sharp turn. plus he sees a replacement target who also have big heat. He goes after the heat. That's, by the way, the reason why El Al is continuing to fly to Israel even when there is a war and there are rockets all over Israel. All the other airlines cancel all their flights until now. They don't fly already for 5-6 months. Why El Al continue to fly? But they're not afraid 500 people will be knocked down. You know what a disaster it's going to be? Plus he can fall on a building and kill another 1,000 people or in the street. Why? Because they have this system. Automatically the pilot doesn't have to shoot flares. If the system detects that there is a fast object coming close towards the plane, immediately it releases flares to all direction. And the missile, the rocket, whatever, is going to go to a different direction. So they are protected with this system. Be'ezrat Hashem, on 2025, I don't know why they keep delaying it. You know, there's a lot of politics. It should have already been now. We will have the laser gun. The laser gun, it costs a few $100s each time. When a missile comes towards Israel, they shoot a laser in the air. You see a big line of fire, and it explodes the missile in the air. It melts it. Instead of $100,000 that each missile costs right now when we shoot on the Iron Dome, every time you shoot to knock down a rocket, it costs you $100,000. They shoot now 100, Hezbollah shot today 100 rockets. Most of them fall in the mountains, so you don't waste your own missiles. But those who come towards the cities, like Tzfat, Kiryat Shmone, you have to knock them down. Each missile you shoot, 100,000. So today alone, they spent probably a few $1 million just to defend the cities of the north. Once you're going to have those lasers, it will cost you $1,000, not $1 million. It changed the entire thing. No one will be able to shoot missiles at Israel anymore. Because remember, right now, the Arabs, besides terror attacks, who kill few people here, few people there, the main thing that they have right now is those rockets. Even though they cannot really kill that many people with the rockets, as you can see, but it shut down the whole country. Tourism don't come in, flights are canceled, it creates a lot of problems. With his laser gun is ready. So why they don't use it now? Because the people that make billions on the Iron Domes bribe politicians not to allow it yet. They don't care that Israel is destroyed, as long as they make millions every day. It's all corrupted politics. Called politics. So, Rabotai, I just want to finish it. So now we understood, finally, what does it mean, chacham lev? So there is a two-way street. I started to explain. Chacham lev ikach mitzvot. So when you control your desires, you melt your evil inclination, you learn a lot of Torah, you gain yirat shamayim, you become a God-fearing person. First, you do not commit sins. And second, you multiply your rewards and merits non-stop. Non-stop. I give you one example. There are many people who watch us or will watch us tomorrow, right? Some people watch live now. Thousands are watching right now live. Once we post it on, there will be another 20, 30, 40,000 views extra. Just the debate I made with those two guys, in one day passed 22,000 views. In one day. It wasn't even 24 hours. Now it's 40-something thousand. Why? People like action. Debate. No. The best 3 lectures I made was the foundation of the faith. I think that for years I didn't give such good lectures, those 3. They have the smallest amount of views. Why? Because every genius thing is already a great believer. First of all, the series doesn't talk about belief or faith. It talks a little bit about faith. It talks about foundations, about things that everybody must know. And such great lecture, but people judge the lecture by the name. I want to tell you, let's say you decide to send 2 checks, one for $1 million and one for $5. Now you have a dilemma. You have 2 envelopes, one yellow and one white. On which one of them you're going to put the $1 million and which one you're going to put the $5? In the white you're going to put the $5 and in the yellow you put the $1 million check, or the other way around?
One gets stolen.
Do you have any logic here or no?
One gets stolen.
Figure it out.
Tell me, what would you do? You have now to mail 2 checks to 2 different people. 1 million to one place, $5 to another place. You have in your drawer 2 envelopes. One yellow and one, forget yellow, red. One red, one white. Red envelope or white?
White.
On which one of them you put the $1 million, which one you put the $5?
White.
White what?
White envelope.
The red for
The
the
white envelope.
The white envelope what?
Put the $1 million.
The million in a white.
And I put the red in the million.
The million in a red.
No.
Tell me your logic.
Because the white one is just like all the other mail. The red one, everyone's gonna, what's inside the red one? It looks suspicious.
Smart
You don't
girl.
want to open it.
Very good. I'm proud of what you said. That's the right answer. What would you like? To attract attention? That the mailman, the thief, wonder what's in this red thing. I never see red envelope. I must know what's inside. He just stole your check. You don't want to attract attention. So you put the $5 in a red, let him steal the red, and find out it's only $5 in the end. Right or wrong? In life, for every transaction, you have to use your head. But when it comes to a good deed, mitzvah, or a sin, you have to not just use the head, you have to apply the head in a war against the heart. The heart is the source of the evil inclination and the desires, and if you don't suppress the heart, you're in a big problem. Very, very big problem. That's why when we put tefillin on the heart, and then we put it on the soul. Why? Because I want to show Hashem, as He demanded, that I dedicate my head and my heart to Him. Not just the heart or not just the head. The heart without the head or the head without the heart is an incomplete mission. I dedicate the way I think, my hashkafa, my ideology, my Torah knowledge, my general knowledge. It's all under you, Hashem. If it does not obey your demand, it's cancelled, it's nothing. It's like a peel of a garlic. And my heart desires this and my heart desires that. If my desire does not comply with what you like, it's dismissed. That's the concept of tefillin. Every day, connection, like a download. Put it on the heart, put it on the neshama. It gives you strength in avodat Hashem. You don't put tefillin, you know what the Gemara says, someone who doesn't put tefillin, they declare his name as a massive criminal in a Jewish nation. קרקפת דלא מניחה תפילין, נקרא פושע ישראל בגופו. That's what the Gemara say. They declare his name. Imagine now, they announce your name in a mall. 30,000 people in a mall. They say, we are looking for a dangerous criminal. Moshe, whatever. Everyone is looking for that Moshe. You look like a Moshe. No, here, my name is not Moshe. It's a big embarrassment. Who is it? Moshe? Are you Moshe? Ma? What happened? They announce that you are wanted. Imagine in a court of heaven, they announce your name every day. Ploni ben Ploni is a criminal. Another day he went by without putting tefillin on. The sad part is the people that put tefillin, but it's not kosher, because they are cheap. When they bought it, they said, give me the cheapest one. Cheapest one? No problem. Machine made, sofer that is half drunk, his hand is shaking. The way the letters look, it doesn't even look Hebrew bichlal. You don't know if it's Hebrew or Chinese. Sometimes people bring me their mezuzot, I open it up, I get the shock of my life. Say to myself, I'm not a sofer and I write better than that. What are these people doing? How can I be sofrim bichlal? Their hands is mamash so untalented. Everything's crooked, one letter up, one letter down, one small, one crooked, one... Disaster. I spoke about it a lot yesterday in the shiur. Mezuzot and tefillin is life and death. Life and death, literally life and death. Sicknesses, depressions, problems in a marriage, problem with the children, financial problem, could be all in the tefillin you put on your head every day. Heart attacks can come from that. Disasters. It destroys a person's life. Why? Because he was trying to save $300-400 on a price. You know, it's very interesting how Hashem gave me this merit that over 20 years ago, I made one guy religious, and then after about a year, I made another guy religious. Two different Israeli. One of them came from Japan directly to the house of Dina Moshe. He didn't have where to be. Here there's an Israeli house in Queens Boulevard. Remember all my Hebrew shiurim? Where I sit and the window is behind me? Yeah. That's the house of Dina Moshe. She's now in Yerushalayim. For 35 years she lived in that apartment in Queens Boulevard. And that's called Abayit Israeli. The Israeli club. Why? Every night a different speaker come, give shiurei Torah. She brings food from the restaurant. All the Bukharians and Israelis that in a neighborhood, instead of being in a park, they come, they eat, they listen to shiurei Torah, and Baruch Hashem, I used to be there every Monday. This was my second lecture of the night. First I gave the English one, finish around 10, quickly drive 20 minutes to our place, arrive at 10:40, start the Hebrew until after midnight. And all the guys, all of them, dozens of them that were participating, you hear them how they interfere with the lecture, getting me angry. All of them became Talmidei Yeshivot, and few of them are big rabbis today. All these guys, you hear the question, until today people tell me, how can you stand these guys? Look how they behave in a shiur. I say, calm down. They're already 10 years in yeshiva, and this guy's a rabbi, this one is a dayan, this one just got a smicha. Some of them are in yeshiva in Monsey until today. They got married, they have children in yeshivot. This was the blessed house, the house Abayit Israeli. One day, Dina Moshe called me up. She said, are you in Queens by any chance? I said, what? You have to see a guy came from Japan. I want you to come, convince him to go to Monsey to the yeshiva. Yeah, I come. I came, I saw a guy, green hair, orange. But a sweetheart. Looked like a zombie. But a sweetheart. Good heart, good, I don't know, manners, I don't know how to call it. You can see right away that's a good product. Just have to be polished. Started to talk to him. I said, come to Monsey, try a week or two. Okay, why not? I took him. Of course, he had a haircut. Sat and learned for years. One day, listen, Rabotai, look how Hashem runs the world. One day, there is a guy here in Brooklyn, Tzaddik, Baal Tshuva. He used to arrange for me lectures here in an apartment. he said to me, I met a girl, you know her. She is the daughter of your best friend from his first marriage before he became religious. But she's not religious. She's eating by her father in holidays where I'm eating there myself. So he said, I want to marry this girl, but she's not religious. I'm already a Baal Tshuva. I know you're speaking in a place called Cafe Cafe. They opened a place here in Brooklyn, Cafe Cafe. It was grand opening that night. Grand opening. They never opened yet. It was the first night they made like... So I want to bring her. Please, if you make her religious, I want to marry her. He brought her. She's like my second daughter. She eats by my best friends in all the Shabbatot, the holidays that I'm there. She's always there. But I never had a chance to preach to her. I mean, her father, is there. He brought her to the shiur. I gave her a strong shiur. Right away, she became Baalat Tshuva. If you know what a Baalat Tshuva she became, you will shake. Any Rebbitzin you know doesn't come near her. You will not look at the screen that has YouTube in it. Even if it's a rabbi speaking there. They won't agree to look at the screen. Very, very attached to Hashem. What she became, it's unbelievable. After she became so fanatic, she didn't want the guy. She said, I don't want him. The guy said, look, I've done all of that. I said, what, you save his soul? Because of you, she became Baalat Tshuva. Yeah, but I wanted to marry her. I said, don't worry, your time will come. What? I'm almost 40. 30-something he was. Baruch Hashem, he found someone else, he got married, good, happy end for him. What's with her? This guy that I brought with the green hair and the orange? In the meantime, he's already a few years learning, became one of the best guys in yeshiva. So serious. I told you, you see right away, it's a good heart. My friend took his daughter, married her with this tzaddik. Tzaddiket and tzaddik. In the meantime, they made Aliyah to Israel, and this guy became the #1 expert for batei tefillin in the world. He comes to Lakewood, VMG Yeshiva, to teach them about the batei tefillin. That's how great he is. One time he came to, I don't want to say which yeshiva somewhere. He volunteered to check their tefillin. They bought all the tefillin, pasul, 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 pasul. Expensive tefillin, people. The rabbi over there said, do me a favor, get up and get out of here. Is everything pasul? I say, yes, pasul. Why? People do not know in the batim shel tefillin, not the parshiot. Parshiot, everybody knows to check. The batim, people don't understand how many problems there are by making the batim. Mekuvanot, glue, not glue, is it a line, is it fake lines? All kinds of questions, if there's holes inside. That was one guy. Then, I told you, a year later, another guy. I brought him also to yeshiva, became also a world expert in batei tefillin. Both of them make the most perfect batei tefillin today in the world. All handmade, with no electric. It's a whole long process. There's a whole different story when you get tefillin that is manufactured in mass production, and they only check 2, 3 out of 100. They don't check each one. They do chazakah. And they use glue and shortcuts and machines, and they save hundreds of hours of work, every week. If it's machine made, the machine does the job. You stick it, the machine roll. You come after 20 minutes, turn it, the machine, or when you do it with the hand. It's a whole different story. Moshe Rabeinu pressed a button and the machine did the job, or he actually prepared the tefillin with the hand. It's a whole different thing. But even if it's a machine made, there are different levels. Some, they hold their hand on a button. As long as the finger is pressing the button, the machine rolls with electric. But the arm is giving power to the electric. If you leave it, it stops. So they say it's handmade. Why? Because without my hand, it would not be made. Some, they just press the button and go. It's also handmade. Without my hand, the machine would start to work. So do you understand that there are different levels? So tefillin is life and death. Life and death. Mezuzot, same thing. Heart attack can come from mistaking a mezuzah. Bankruptcy can come from mistaking a mezuzah. Children cannot talk. Dyslexia, all kinds of other problems. Can be. I told yesterday the story about my son. Until age 3, couldn't say a word. Good luck stopping him from speaking today. Benji know him. What happened when we put the mezuzot in his mezuzah? There was no mezuzah. There was just a box. By mistake, we forgot to put the mezuzah inside the box. There's an empty box in his room for 3 years. Then my wife had a dream. Mamash, they came to her in a dream, check his mezuzah. We took him to expert, Westchester, a doctor. He check his brain, check his coordination. I don't see any problems. Not autism, no this, no that. I don't know what to say. She had a dream, check his mezuzah. I said, I know I bring the best mezuzot. What's to check? It was check and computer check. To begin with, we deal with top of the line sofrim. I have nothing to check. I would never believe that there's no mezuzah. If there is mezuzah, I know it's kosher, but there was no mezuzah in the box. When I opened it up, oh my God, it's empty. Right, the way I put mezuzah inside. The next day, the Rebbe called. I don't know what happened. He started to talk today non-stop. What happened? He didn't have mezuzah for 3 years. Couldn't say a word. This is with me. Not someone told me a story. You get the point or no?
Yeah.
But what happened? People, it's unbelievable. You know, people that bought Mercedes for $130,000 cash, no finance, cash, try to save $30, $40 on each mezuzah. Don't you have something cheaper? I'll take the 100. No, take the 120. It's perfect. 100 is almost perfect. This is perfect. Perfect mezuzah. And anyway, it's a third of a price from the store. Go here to the store in Borough Park. Tell them I want the perfect mezuzah. It starts from $300 and up. You pay a third of a price. Same thing with the tefillin. You pay a third of a price. So you're already saving 2/3. What are you trying to say? Okay, I'll take this one. Chaval. This one is almost perfect. When he went to buy the Mercedes, they told him, you have one for 90. This is 115. This is the top. Special. What? 135. What's so special about it? The seats are handmade. Over here they did this, that. You see over here, you press up, you see what comes out. Well, it's $5 in China. That's 10 more thousand. The wheels, look at the wheels. The plates. It's magnesium. What's the difference? It's a special custom. Who cares? It looks the same. No, the other one is not the same quality. No, so what's the difference? This will rust after 5 years, this would last 7 years. How much more? 10,000. Put it in. This stereo, instead of 4 speakers, you have 6 speakers. No, how much a speaker cost in China? Another $5, $10? They make 100,000. How much they spend, the manufacturer? Another $50. Another 10,000. Do it. The seat. What? You want electric or you want manual to put the seat back? What's the difference if I lift the thing and push my back, or I press the it moves like this? That's another 3,000. Put. Now he comes to buy mezuzot for his mansion. Well, how much? Don't you have something a little bit less? Why in a Mercedes shop you didn't say, don't you have maybe something with a little bit less? This, cut that. Over there is Yetzer Hara to spend a lot of money for the show-off. Over here you have Yetzer Hara to save money and destroy your life. Do you understand how the Satan works? Not that you are a stingy person. Stingy person doesn't buy the most expensive Mercedes. He buys a simple car. His heart doesn't let him spend over 100,000 on a car. So he buys a cheap car, because he's stingy. He buys the cheapest suit and the cheapest watch, because he wants to keep as much money as he can. Someone that is generous on everything, but when it comes to Kedusha, why this matzot is $30 a pound? Give me this one. How much is that? 17 a pound. There's so much politics here. Such business the religion is. Right or wrong? Let's finish, Rabotai. I got tired. I will tell you a story and we'll finish here. You know, there was a person named Hiel of Bethel. You heard about him? Hiel of Bethel. He built Jericho. Jericho. Yoshua ben Nun gave like a prophecy that it's also a curse. He said anyone who will build this place will start by losing his oldest son, his Bechor, and will end by losing his last son, meaning the youngest one. They will all die. From the minute you start, meaning there's a curse on this place. Don't touch it. By the way, this curse is until today. That's where Yasser Arafat, the terrorist mouse, was there in Jericho. So Yoshua ben Nun made a curse. Anyone who will dare to build this place would lose all his children. This Hiel Bethel, he doesn't have respect for the chachamim. Not even to Yoshua ben Nun, who took the place of Moshe Rabeinu. When he built the place, it's all finished. He made a ceremony in the beginning. You know how they come, they put a big sign, over here you're going to build this special center. So they bring politician, the mayor, in 3 years the project will be finished, we're going to put $1 billion here. They tell you their plans. So he made a grand opening, meaning the project begins. Right away, his son died that day. He continues. Coincidence. Bad luck. People lose their children. What can we do? It's nature. By the time he finished to build the city, 7 more sons died. He lost all his children. The youngest one just died when he finished. Just like Yoshua ben Nun won. Joshua. Now there is a meeting in a Shiva. He's sitting Shiva on his son. You know, people sit on the floor. People come to comfort them. Who came? Eliyahu Hanavi. Elijah the prophet. This story is 2,600 years ago. Eliyahu Hanavi comes together with the king. Who is the king? Achav. The worst king in the history of the Jewish nation. Achav. Achav walks in to the Shiva call. Very misfortunate scenario. 7 sons in one family. Oy vey, oy. It has to be some genetic problem. Genetic. It has to be something in the genes. Science. You know. Kvod Harav, Eliyahu, what do you have to say? Eliyahu say, no genetic, no nothing. It's the curse of Yoshua ben Nun killed your children. Should have warned, you should have been careful. So Achav looks at him. Achav, when you think about Achav, imagine the prime minister with the quarter of his head, the faker that sued me in a court. That's Achav. So now you have Achav and you have Rav Ovadia Yosef. Together, they come, the quarter head, he comes together with the chief rabbi, and they come to a family who lost 7 kids. The one with the quarter on his head is a medical, serious, genetic problem. Rabbi, what do you think? No genetic, no nothing. It's a curse. He got punished. He should have warned himself not to do such thing, because Yoshua ben Nun say everyone who will do such thing would lose all his children. The Achav looks at him, curse? What, are you primitive? Believe in curses? Tell me, who is greater, Moshe or Yoshua? Who's greater, Moses or his student Joshua? You have the rabbi and you have his student. Who comes first? The rabbi comes before the student. Who's greater? Eliyahu Hanavi say, of course Moshe. It says, Moshe says in the Torah, be careful, ישמרו לכם, פן יפתה לבבכם, וסרתם ועבדתם אלוהים אחרים, וחרה אף השם בכם, ועצרת השמיים, ולא יהיה מטר. Moshe warned in the Torah, be careful that your heart should not remove from Hashem, and you will serve a different God, meaning you will be an idol worshipper. At that time, God will be so angry, He will stop the heavens, there will be no rain, and all of you will be destroyed from hunger. There's nothing to eat if there's no rain. No wheat, no barley, no trees, vegetables, nothing. The animals are starving, no meat. Me, and almost the entire nation of Israel, are devoted in our idol worshipping every day, and it's plenty of rain. You really want to tell me that the curse of Joshua has any power? The curse of Moshe doesn't have power. The curse of Joshua, it's needless to say. Sounds like the modern Orthodox speakers from my blacklist from the university. That's how they think. Eliyahu say, wow, your mind is so corrupted. Your ideology is so crooked. Instead of understanding that Hashem with His mercy have patience and He does not activate the curse yet, hoping people will repent, that they should not be destroyed for eternity. And that's the wonderful behavior of Hashem, that is willing to wait and wait and wait before He destroys the wicked. You actually understand from that there is no truth in the Torah? This is what you choose to understand? So I will teach you a lesson the hard way. From this moment on, there will be not one more drop of rain until I will say otherwise. No more rain. Eliyahu Hanavi said, no more rain. Not one drop of rain fell. For how many years?
3 years.
3 years. In the meantime, יימח שמו, this prime minister with a quarter on his head, is walking around looking for the rabbi to sue him. He's getting on my nerve. Fanatic, annoying. Let's kill him. Eliyahu Hanavi knew they're going to kill him. He had to run and hide. He went to hide in some cave somewhere. He's hiding. They're searching for him all over. Not to tell them, Rabbi, we apologize, you were right. Please cancel the curse that you put on us. We will do everything you tell us to do. We will all repent. We will give donations for Torah. Tell us what to do. No. He has the nerve to put a curse on us. We'll kill him. That's how the wicked operates. Tov, so Eliyahu Hanavi had to run and hide. 3 years, no rain. Nobody asked. What is the problem that for 3 years, no, every year there's plenty of rain until now. All of a sudden, 3 years, 3 winters, now 1 drop of rain? Nobody gathered together, no preacher spoke in the street. Let's repent. It's written in the Torah that if there's no rain, Hashem is angry. We'll eat from the saving. Whatever we have in the storages. We will eat less. We will manage without meat. We'll become vegetarian. Nobody cared to do tshuva. After 3 years, Hashem said to Eliyahu, show yourself to Achav. Go, don't be afraid, go. And I will put rain on the land. This is, if you want to read the story, it's in Kings A, chapter 18, verse 1. Melachim Aleph, chapter 18, from the beginning. Eliyahu sends Ovadia to coordinate a meeting. Who is Ovadia? A convert, also a prophet. A Ger Tzedek, used to be a goy, used to be Abdallah, became Ovadia. Send Ovadia to coordinate the meeting with Achav. When the meeting takes place, how does Achav name Eliyahu Hanavi? Ocher Israel, an enemy of the Jewish nation. He that made everyone idol worshipper is a tzaddik. The chief rabbi that stuck to what the Torah say is the wicked one. So, then you know the rest of the story. They gather all the fake rabbis, all Nevi'ah Baal, 450. They came to the Carmel mountain next to Haifa. And Eliyahu said to the nation, until when you're going to be modern Orthodox? Make up your mind. Either you are modern or you are Orthodox. It cannot be this and this together. Make up your mind. עד מתי אתם פוסחים על שני הסעיפים? If God is the God, follow him. And if the idols is the God, follow him. No 50% God, 50% idols. Enough with this. And then after Hashem took the sacrifice of Eliyahu, and they scream and nothing helped them, what happened? It ended with Eliyahu Hanavi doing one more thing. What did he do? Pour water on his cow and fire burn it with the water to show you that it's a divine miracle. But after the whole nation scream, Hashem hu Elokim, Hashem hu Elokim, God is our, Hashem is our God, Hashem is our God. When everybody saw now that Eliyahu is the tzaddik and the 450 university rabbis are all fakers, what did Eliyahu do? Slaughtered all of them. Did not leave one of them alive. Today, he would get the electric chair. Fanatic rabbi, vile, dangerous, violent. The Supreme Court will go crazy. Warrant for his arrest. The Hague International Court is looking for that crazy rabbi. What happened? He killed the university rabbis, the fakers. He killed all of them. They all had followers. The followers demand revenge. Bagdad. The Israeli Supreme Court is going crazy. No one was politically correct. If you are a servant of Hashem, What does it mean politically correct? Faker, a liar. Twisting the truth to become sweeter, the lies to become sweeter. Eliyahu finished them all. Why? Those who push people to become idol worshippers, to become apikorsim, to become heretics, those who publish garbage, those who organize speeches to those heretics, are all in the same category of these 450 Nevi'ei Baal. None of us is zealous to Hashem to kill them. You kill them, you'll be killed, or you spend the rest of your life in jail. Pinchas was zealous. Eliyahu was zealous. The Gemara said it's the same person. Pinchas, it's Eliyahu. The same Pinchas that killed Zimri ben Salu came back as Eliyahu a few hundred years later, 700 years later, and was the same zealous, righteous man. That the truth of Hashem hurts him so much when people break it, he just couldn't look at them anymore. He couldn't stand them. We cannot do that. We're not zealous. If one of us will take a wicked person and kill him, forget about the court, forget about the police, forget about the jail you're going to get. Hashem will punish you. You'll be punished by Hashem. Why Hashem? I killed someone that is against you. I made the place a much better place. No. If you were Pinchas, yes. If you were Eliyahu, yes. But you're not. You yourself is a faker. Everyone is a faker to some extent. We always stick to the truth. Unfortunately not. We always eliminate our desires. Unfortunately not. We always fight for the truth even if it costs us money. No. How can you name yourself as a zealous leader when your comfortable choices comes before Hashem's choices? So the Gemara already answered this dilemma. No one is zealous to Hashem. No one can kill anyone. There's no execution. We cannot execute anyone, and we cannot act as violent in any violence. We can't do it. We can't. And yes, it burns the heart to see the gay parade. It burns the heart to see all the fakers and all the thieves and all the murderers and the corrupted politicians and the lefties and traders that brings tragedies to our nation. Nothing we can do about it. We can teach Torah, we can scream, we can pray, we can cry to Hashem, and that's just about it. But the biggest thing we can do is to save as many souls as we can. The more righteous Jews we will create, the less power these wicked people will have. Right now they fool a lot of ignorant Jews. They follow them. Because they don't have anything in their head who to follow. If we will save another 1 million Jews and turn them into serious Shomrei Shabbat, the last thing they would want is to follow those fakers. The fact that they follow the fakers is because they never saw the real, the holier, the real one, the real teachers, the real Torah scholars. They didn't know. You know, I had one guy, he went to Kabbalah Center for 7 years. He gave them $100,000. This is more than 20 years ago. It's like $1 million today. And then him and his sister met me. 2 Persian brother and sister. How do they meet me? In Rosh Hashanah. We were all guests by someone in Monsey. They were hosting us and they were hosting them. That's where we met, in Rosh Hashanah. I see the guys wearing white, touching his ear, having a weird siddur with all kinds of names of angels. This guy is not religious. What is this, all these things he's doing? Started to talk to him. Said, that's the siddur of the Ari, this, that I pray like Rav Kaduri, that's Kabbalah Center. I said to him, let me ask you a question. What bracha you make on a cake that you eat? When you finish? What bracha? It's not bread. I said, I know it's not bread. I asked about the cake. I didn't know there's a bracha. I said, 7 years you go to Kabbalah Center, you don't know when you eat 1 ounce of cake you have to make bracha la michya? Never heard of it. You want to be a Kabbalist before you know Aleph Bet of Judaism? You don't even know the level of kindergarten. Who gave you permission to touch Kabbalah? Baruch Hashem, I got him out of that cult, and they became very nice tzaddikim until today. I was recently in Long Island in a lecture. His sister came. Very nice people. The bottom line is they didn't know any better. For them it was religion. These fakers that teach all kinds of goyim. Even dogs come to their speeches there. Yeah, you sit supposedly in a shul and a dog sit there. How? Yeah. L'shem yichud kudsha. How? Berichu. All of a sudden, they met the real Torah. The real Judaism. They kicked them to hell. Until today, I'm sure they cry over the $100,000 went to this filthy place. When you want to save people, you have to give them replacement for their garbage. You gotta give them something. If you have nothing to offer, they're not gonna leave their garbage. You want someone to leave his dirty clothes, get him nice, clean clothes. Just convince him to let go to the dirty clothes without supplying him with new clothes. It's not gonna work. Chafetz Chaim saw that in the Russian army, Jews eat pigs, porks. Chafetz Chaim said we have to save the Jews from eating not kosher. We have to collect donation and make food for the Jewish soldier. We'll pay for it. The Russian army is not gonna sponsor kosher food. We will suggest that they can come to our booth and eat kosher. They did it. So the Jews came, they ate some kosher meat, and then they ate the sausages. So they came to the Chafetz Chaim and said, it's a waste of time. These Russian communist Jews, they enjoy from both sides. They come eat the kosher, finish, they go to eat their non-kosher. We should stop wasting money on them. There are lost cases. Chafetz Chaim said, no. We have to bring a better chef. If our food was much more delicious than the non-kosher, why would they go to the non-kosher? Apparently because the food we make is not as delicious as the other food. What happened? We have to make an effort that our kosher food will be greater and tastier than the other garbage that they give. This is the right ideology. You want to save someone from his drugs, from his Chilul Shabbat, from his abomination, from all the garbage that he has, you have to supply him with something that will make him happier. The real truth. Once he will realize the real truth, he will kick the garbage that he was wasting time as far as he can. If you don't give them replacement, what do you expect? What do you expect him to to stay without anything? Do you understand what I'm saying here or no? Tov, Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll see you next week. Like I said, next week will be a special lecture before Purim. We'll teach all the secrets of it and how it relates to us for today. Until then, have a great week. Baruch Adonai לעולם, אמן ואמן. רבי חזק הקשיא אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל, ולפיכך